Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hotter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, you Hotter Than Hellions out there. This is the Hotter Than Hell podcast. My name is Steve Wright. I will be your host this evening, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, BC.
Hello, rock and roll Hellions.
All right, thanks, BC. Tonight we have a special show for you. We have 4 people in the studio recording today, not including our awesome producer, Dylan Wright.
I was going to say, you did your math wrong, and there's 5.
I was prepared for it. And our 2 other co-hosts will be a return guest, BB.
Hellions, what's going on?
And we have a new guest this evening. And like I told you before, we're going to bring some estrogen to the show. And we have Jenn Roberts-Veina with us tonight. Hi, Jen.
What's up, everyone?
All right. Jen, before we get going here, give us your little musical background here. How'd you get into music and stuff like that? And just a quick background.
Well, I first really liked Skid Row. They were my main source into the heavy metal. Then I got into Metallica, Motley Crue, and obviously Van Halen.
All right. Excellent. Skid Row, you can't get a better place to start than those guys. Excellent. Like I said, this evening we are going to have a special show. BC, you raised your hand. What do you got?
Did you get in the beginning of Skid Row? Debut album?
More like 18 in Life.
Okay, that's a debut. Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
That was
Play the hits.
That was their debut album. Yeah, 1989. I was graduating high school.
I was
You're old.
12.
I'm old.
They had high school back then?
They did.
Hey, that's
And
not
you
bad though. 12 years
graduated
old, rocking out to Skid Row. That's great.
Well, Sebastian Bach was my wallpaper.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Did I ever tell you that I met Skid Row?
No.
Or not Skid Row, I'm sorry, Sebastian Bach.
Awesome.
I actually met him in the bathroom at the Meadowlands. I was in the
Bathroom stalker!
That's kinda
Mother
creepy.
truckers.
Can you shake
Well,
my hand,
I was
truckers?
in there doing my business, and this guy comes up, and I could hear him talking, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that's Sebastian Bach. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey. So I got done, actually washed my hands, and walked out. So I waited outside the bathroom. He came out, and I'm like, hey, Sebastian Bach. He's like, hey, what's up, man? So I talked to him for a couple seconds, and we were at the Motley Crue concert. It was Motley Crue and Warrant at the Meadowlands for the Dr. Feelgood tour. And I said, hey, what are you doing here? He said, I live close by. He said, get ready. He said, I'm going to come out and do a song with Motley Crue, and so is Ace Frehley from Kiss. And I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, hey, nice to meet you, dude. His voice. And then, so we went on a bus from our local radio station. So I get back to my seat, and I'm telling everybody, holy shit, I just saw Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. Yeah, bullshit. I said, I'm telling you. I said, he's going to come out with Motley Crue, and Ace Frehley is going to come out, and they're going to do a song with the Crue. You guys wait and see. And then they came on and be like, holy shit, and then they knew I wasn't bullshitting then. So
What song did they do?
they did Jailhouse Rock,
Nice.
which was very cool.
He's really tall, isn't he?
Yeah. He's like 6'5" or something like that. He's a tall guy. And, he's, like the rest of us, has put on a couple pounds as he got older. But, I mean, however old he was back in 1989, he was a young guy at the time. So it was really cool.
Then we also met him in the lobby of the Sheridan at the M3 show, too.
Yeah, we did. And actually, out of all the people who were there, me and BB were the only ones that he took a picture with that night.
That's right. Because he had like 87,000. He was leaving the hotel like he was the Pied Piper. There was a bar across the way from the hotel we were staying at, and it was hilarious to watch. At least 40 people just tail right behind him.
Come on, mother truckers!
Yeah, I bet you the bar loved that. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, holy shit, look at all the fucking people coming behind him. All right, so that's our little Skid Row. We skid off the road to Skid Row there. Like I said, we have a special show tonight. It is going to be one of the topics that is going to go down in the ages. It's going to be the Great Van Halen debate. We're going to have 2 teams. We're going to have myself and BC on the David Lee Roth awesome side, and we're going to have BB and Jen on the Sammy Hagar side. Yeah, okay. And Dylan is going to be our moderator.
I want a clean, fair fight.
I'm really sorry.
All right. In this corner we have ding. It's going to be like
Sammy is
get in
the
the ring.
boxer, so sorry.
Yeah, and on his unboxed thing, he's ass is kicked and he's standing in the corners. Dave probably friggin' hit him.
Let's save it for the ring, everybody.
Break it up. No low blows.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Before we get to that, we have a couple things going on here. I would like to, at this time, thank everybody. You guys are awesome out there. Before we came down here today, I checked our stats. We have over 1,500 downloads. You guys kick ass. I'm going to mention some people here that shared our stuff, liked our stuff, interacted with us. Here's some names of people that have really been helpful to us and encouraging. The Decibel Geek Podcast, they gave us a shout out on their show last week. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
If you're a Kiss fan out there, they do a Kiss in July show, and all their shows in July are on Kiss, and they had their old costume person that was with Kiss on last week's episode. It was fantastic. So that's Chris Senzak and Aaron Camaro from Decibel Geek Podcast. My buddy Sonny Pooney from out in California. He is on the podcast Rock City Podcast. As always, our music man, Mark Zatorka, my buddy BB here, his awesome son and my godson, Killian Bannon, Chris Jankowskis, Heather Shakaris. She's another female we're going to have on our show at a later time. Trevor McDougall, Jesse Maurer, Tom Reynolds, Spencer Wetmore, Scott Bayer, Robert Ross, Ken Mills from the Podkiss, the Podfather, Joe Polo, also from Podcast Rock City, Kaylin Provo, Ed Spangenberg, our buddy Girth, John Connor. I'm going to say actually to the Wright, which is my family, and the Valentine and Ryan family that put up with Dylan and I down in Myrtle Beach last week while we were recording, while we were on vacation down there. They were very patient, except for my other son. He wasn't very patient with us, but you'll have that. So I'd like to thank those guys for having patience with us while we were down there. Kenny Hightower, Rob Webb, Kevin Hanley, Holly Como James, Cindy Russick, Christopher Weiss, Keith Ross, Dennis Talbot, Joe Mangieri, Joe Takash Jr., Tori Watson, Chris Granza, our Chris Cruz buddy, Damian Russin, Chuck Egley, Eric Valentine, Lori Boland, and he went to Jared Daniels. And I also have Adam Cox, Victoria Wingren, Walt Egantovich, and Adam Cox. And Dylan, you have something about one of our good friends for the podcast here.
Well, the illustrious Jesse Bauer. You tired after we did that list?
I am. I need a beer. I need a beer.
It's awesome that we have that many fans that want to support the podcast like that. Our very own Jesse Maurer of Static in the Attic got a well-deserved nomination for the Steamtown Music Awards this year. He is nominated for Best Guitarist, and God, I hope he wins, because I've never seen a guitar player play that well.
He's phenomenal.
He's amazing.
So he's amazing how young he is.
For as young as he is, and seriously.
Yeah, like I said on one of our other episodes, here's a young man that is awesome on guitar, and he plays like he's been playing for like 20 years in front of people. He's just amazing.
So good.
So Jesse, good luck.
Definitely check out Static in the Attic as well. And if it's okay to plug my own thing, the radio station that I'm a part of at Marywood, 91.7 VM-FM, is also nominated for Radio Station of the Year for the Steamtown Music Awards. So if you like the sound of my sultry voice and want to give it a vote, we would very appreciate winning that award.
Yeah, it's very cool that Dylan's on that. He is the program director also for that radio station.
Yep.
We'll have to put something on the website so they can go and...
Yeah, we'll post that.
And we do play heavy stuff. We sometimes break out the Rob Zombie or the Suicidal Tendencies, especially when I'm doing a DJ shift. So
yeah, although I'm trying to get him to play something from Kiss Carnival of Souls, because they do call that their alternative album, but I've been shot down so far.
Hey, on iTunes it's listed under rock. That's all I gotta say.
Since we're on iTunes now, and I do have some amount of pull with iTunes, maybe I can make something happen there.
There you go.
Okay, a couple of quick news items we have here. Bruce Dickinson. That's an inside joke. We'll get into that on one of our Iron Maiden things. Bruce Dickinson is coming out with a book in October. It's called "What Does This Button Do?" I guess it's going to chronicle his life, his early life, and then when he was in Samson and other bands, and then he got in Iron Maiden and fencing champion and pilot and all the crazy shit that he does. I think he authored a couple books also. And so now he's going to have his own autobiography out there. BB, what do you think?
That'd be
Bruce's
awesome.
book?
That'd be really cool. If that'd be nice if he does actually like a book tour. We go to the city and drink.
That would be
and
cool.
Hang out and stand in line for 5 hours like we did for Zach. And
BC's going to say drink again.
Drink.
And sign the book. That'd be real cool.
Jen, you're a Maiden fan too, aren't you?
Well, I just started getting into Maiden because of my friend R.A.
R.A.
He had me going to Iron Maiden concerts. Would I go to 2 now? I think we were all there, right?
Yeah. We went to the first one you went to at Madison Square Garden.
I never thought that I would like Iron Maiden, but they are awesome. They are truly awesome. I was at the Rail at the last concert, and I think Bruce is great. So I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, Bruce is great. We saw Bruce, BC, myself, and a couple other people. Actually, R.A. was there that day, too. And R.A., I didn't give you a shout-out before. Here's your shout-out, buddy. You're awesome. Thanks for your support also. We saw them in Camden, New Jersey, and it was I think it was 104 degrees when we went in the venue that night in Camden, New Jersey. It was ungodly hot in there. It was crazy. But we were right up front, and like I said in the one episode, Alice Cooper opened up, and when the guy spit the blood out, like something went in my mouth. That one just like fucking throw up. I'm gagging thinking about it, actually. So R.A. was at that show with us, and also Jim Polkowski and another friend of BC's at the time. Excuse me. We'll leave it at that. Maine always puts on a great show. And what I was leading up to, sorry for the very long thing here, there was one, I don't even know what song it was at that show. Bruce did this scream, he does that, ah! It was so fucking loud, like it hurt my ears. I was like, holy fuck. I mean, like, you know, you're at a Maiden concert and you're up front and it's really, really loud. But when he did that scream, it stepped it up probably like 50 decibels just on that scream, and it fucking hurt. It was like, holy fuck.
He didn't even need the PA system.
No shit. I mean, just like unbelievable. And he's a guy. His voice, I think, gets better as he goes along. And here's a guy that had throat cancer probably 2 years ago now, and he's just strong as ever, and he's just keep going on. So you guys look for that book out there in October. It's called "What Does This Button Do?" BC, you got something you want to talk about here real quick.
Yngwie Malmsteen broke this week about him, how he doesn't want to work with any of the vocalists he's worked with in the past.
Or any vocalist.
Any vocalist, in that matter of fact, because he's so great of a singer,
He is a fucking terrible singer.
But anyways, he like pretty much bashed these guys in the ground
and they're good singers. It's
did all these out. Jolyn Turner,
Jeff Scott Soto. Like, I mean, come on, these guys fucking Ripper Owens.
I mean, it's not like it's people off the street. And he said pretty much like that they sucked, and he's just going to do everything himself. So hey, more power to you.
Yeah, good luck. And I myself, when I found out that he was going to be doing all the singing on his albums, I'm like, I won't buy another one because he's a fucking terrible singer.
Terrible.
Although you don't get a lot of vocals for him, it's all stuff. It's just it's insane.
We went to see him it must be almost
year and a half ago,
and it was just
torture.
That was the worst concert experience.
Longest
of
concert
my
I
life.
ever went to, and it was just like okay, we know you can play that. We don't. I mean, like
and then there's
3
like
hours.
the 5-minute intervals where he would walk off stage to change his
stage
guitar every
and,
song.
Yeah.
The band is left there to go like, oh, is he coming back?
The poor bass player, he was the guy that was doing the singing, and he's like, okay, everybody, how's everybody doing? I mean, how many times can you say that? Like, and you know, it's just like, and he's
I don't think the show got over to what? Midnight.
It was like 12:30 when that got.
It was after midnight.
Like,
the show got over.
Fuck.
It's just like constant, like soloing.
Yeah, it was the
we know
guitar
you
gods.
can play solos.
We know you're good. Play some actual songs.
They could have played like 10 more songs.
Well, I'm just glad that they had enough room on the stage for all of his Marshall stacks.
Yeah.
Since they had to shove the band over into the 1/4 of the stage. And
Yeah,
the
you
rest
have
is stacks.
60 feet of Marshall stacks and like 20 feet for the band, not even.
You have the keyboard player and the bass player and the drummer squeezed within like 10 feet on the stage, and the rest is Marshall stacks. It was just a ridiculous display of ego at that show.
But good luck with your future, buddy.
Yeah. So we told BB, we said, be glad you didn't go to that show because it just sucked ass.
Not great.
Yeah. We won't ask Jen for comment on that.
I have no idea.
I don't think she's here
idea.
shaking her head going, I don't know.
Invasive acquired taste.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Acquired taste.
We'll make a CD for you or something. It's
back in the 80s, but nowadays
good stuff. It's just soloing, self-indulgent shit. One thing that came out this week also was causing, some semi-controversy out there is the Dio hologram tour. I posted about it, and I said, I would probably go, but after a little more thought, it's really creepy. It's like really creepy, and we were talking about it before, and Jen said, Michael Jackson did something like that.
Go get creepier than Michael's.
Hey, come on.
Sorry.
But it is. I think it's weird. I guess they did it for 1 or 2 songs in a on a festival in Europe last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean that was kind of cool, but like to do a whole tour of it, like
Pay tribute to Ronnie, but to do a whole show with that, I think it'd be kind of weird too.
And the band is the Dio Disciples band that's doing it, but I think they're going to be going out as like the Dio band or something like that. So it's crazy.
So hopefully, it would be nice if they actually do, several shows. They actually take some of their earnings and maybe give it back to Ronnie's Stand Up and Shout Cancer Society Fund.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, I would absolutely go then. I would definitely support it.
That may make it a little bit more interesting to go, but like you said, I'd love to see it, but it's also kind of creepy.
I'm assuming that Wendy Dio, his wife, I'm assuming she's down with it because
I hope she's down
part
with it,
of it.
That would be
Like
Craig Goldie's a guitar player, and he's not. He's my least favorite Dio guitar player ever.
Right.
His stage presence is like just non-existent. He's real good player, but
like BB said, if it goes to the cancer research and money goes to that, I'll be for it. But other than that, it's kind of weird.
It is weird.
yeah, it is. It's like if you see we'll post the video that they showed of them doing it.
Yeah,
and it's really weird. He looks like a munchkin up. I mean, he wasn't a tall guy to begin with, but like he's like the screen's like way back. I'm sorry.
And actually, one point at the video, he picks up a towel as he's singing, and it seems like he stretches it out, and it's the hologram company that does the hologram. He holds it up, and
That's
we're like,
weird.
boy.
It's like NASCAR. Yeah, we had a good car, good tire. We're brought to you by
Here's our sponsor,
John's Holograms, sponsor of this tour here.
I can't see a thing, but I sure do love fake news.
Yeah. All right, so there's our news. Like I said, everybody, thank you so much for your support out there. Interact with us online. Check us out on iTunes. We have a YouTube channel. We're on Twitter. Check us out. Interact with us. Share us. If you guys have a topic you would like us to discuss or something like that, shoot us a line. We try to keep true to what we tell you we're going to post video-wise. We hope you liked the show last week that Dylan and I did down in Myrtle Beach. Like I said on that episode, I was reluctant to do it, and I thought it turned out pretty good. And Dylan's production on that show just absolutely blew me away at the end there when we were talking about Ecstasy of Gold, and he dubbed that in. I mean, that was just like fucking awesome. So great job, Dylan. And you guys interact with us. Let us know what you think. So I am at this point going to relinquish control. I'm going to let go of the wheel, and I'm going to turn the show over to Dylan, who is going to be our moderator. Okay.
I mean, I will
moderator with the monitor.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
I was gonna do a Panama reference. Reach down
in between my legs.
Yeah, these seats don't ease back.
I feel like that would do it. Okay, so I'm going to run this debate. I want a good, clean fight, no low blows.
Cut me, Mickey.
Yes. Cut me, Mickey.
I can't promise anything.
I can't help where my foot goes under the table.
See.
Okay. Okay.
Bang, already.
We're already starting. Okay.
Violence has started already.
So for the first question, I'm going to leave it up to a coin toss to see who goes first. Basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to pose a question about each part of the band, Van Halen and Van Hagar as they're called, and they will have to argue their side, argue what they picked. They spent like 2 hours deliberating what they're figuring out what they were going to do. I will allow the guests to call the coin flip in the air. BB or Jen, whoever wants to...
Before we get going, I just want to say Dylan did a lot of work on this show, and he posed the questions to us so we didn't have a lot of dead time on air. But I will have to say that when we were deliberating our answers, it took the Hagar side a lot longer to prepare for this than it took the Dave side. So
I'm pretty sure you guys took just as long.
Well, we didn't. I'm telling
we have
you,
so many better songs. That's why it took us. The catalog is more to.
It was really tough.
We were done because we have Dave. I mean, enough said.
Yeah, he's only got one or two good songs. That's why.
See, here we go. Okay, let's go. Coin
ding
flip.
ding.
Okay. BB, Jen, whoever wants to call it.
Go ahead, Jen.
All right, Tails.
Tails. Okay, it looks
Tails
like
it
the
is.
Van
Do you
Hagar sign...
Do you want to receive or do you want to kick off?
We're going to kick off.
Okay, the Van Hagar sign will be answering the question first. The first question I have, of course...
No, that's reversed.
I'm going to kick off.
He's kicking off. He's letting us letting us receive the first one.
Dylan doesn't know a lot about football.
Okay. All right, so for the second half, it goes the other way then.
That's right.
Allow the moderator to decide that.
Oh, there's a halftime?
There's going to have to be. We're going to have to replenish our beer.
Okay, so Van Halen side with David Lee Roth. Your first question that you're going to have to say, what is the best debut song of the David Lee Roth era Van Halen?
This was we came up with the answer like bang. We're going to go with Tattoo.
Oh my God.
No, we're not.
I'm only kidding.
That would have been an interesting choice.
That was awesome. Oh my God.
That was awesome.
Soft serve.
Yep.
That's what we were absolutely hoping for reaction.
Okay, what's your...
The left hook.
Go ahead, BC.
We had to go with In the Cradle of Rock. I mean,
Off of what album?
Women and Children First.
Of
Women and
course.
Children First. We picked that because it's not like a totally rocking song, but it came out in 1980. We were young kids at the time. Yeah, and it showed the angst of like young people out there. Have you seen Junior's grades? Like, you were hoping your fucking parents didn't see your grades because you weren't gonna be listening to Van Halen or going to fuck anywhere when they did see them. We thought it was a great pick. There was some stiff competition. We were gonna pick Running with the Devil because that's pretty much everyone's introduction to Van Halen. You get
whiskey. There's so much. There's just so many Dave songs you can pick from.
Now, before we get into your guys' pick, why don't you guys tell me your first experience with Van Halen? Jen, do you want to start? When did you first get into Van Halen?
1993.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Still wasn't born yet, but continue.
That's why I like Sammy, because I was, I came into it liking Sammy. He was in the band. But I was dating someone who played the guitar. His friends played the guitar, and they played Van Halen, Sammy all the time. They would, sit in the car, play the music, yell taps. I had no idea what that was. I don't know, Eddie playing something. I don't know, but
Tap into fretboard?
I don't know. But Sammy to me is God, just like Eddie is God. So 1993.
Okay. How about you, BB?
My experience was 1984. When I say that, the two hosts look at me and roll their eyes.
We're reining them in. We're reining them in already. The line's out there.
Unfortunately, back, I was only 12 in 1984, and Jump came on the radio. I'm like, wow, that guitar solo is really cool. Who are these guys? And then,
but he really thought that guy's this awesome singer.
I doubt it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, 1984 was my first taste of Van Halen.
So,
album.
Would you guys like to tell your pick for the best first song on a Van Hagar album?
Okay. Our pick is going to be Mine All Mine.
Oh, I knew they were going to pick that one. I knew it.
Off of what album?
Off of OU812. And I have to thank Jen because this song is one of my favorite Sammy sung Van Halen songs of all time.
It is a great song.
It's a great song, and it's not the lovey-dovey songs that these two guys don't like to hear.
I don't like to hear
Awesome
that one either.
guitar tracks, awesome vocals, just a great way to start the album off to grip you in.
Okay, so we have "And the Cradle Will Rock" from Women and Children First versus what was it again?
Oh my God!
See, it's forgettable already.
We already lost.
Sorry, it's "Mine All Mine"
Yeah.
from OU.
OU812.
Okay, so fight it out.
We will let them go first.
Okay, break it down, guys. Why is your song better than their song?
I say "Mine All Mine" isn't as commercialized as "In the Cradle of Rock." That gets played all the time. "Mine All Mine," not so much. Great tune, not overplayed.
For a reason.
I doubt it.
I think that Mine All Mine, it's an okay song. I don't think it totally sucks. I don't think it's a great opening album song. There's other songs on there that could have been even better for an opening song. "Source of Infection," I think would have been a better song. I don't know who.
Yeah, but that's not a number one track on the album.
No, I know, but
I see where you're going.
If
they could have,
Right.
it would have been a better pick for it. "Mine Oh Mine," it just seems like a lackluster song. And here I'm going to say this, hypocritically, it's got the keyboards in it, but we know "In the Cradle of Rock" does also. But there's more of it in that. It's not what is "Mine All Mine"? What's "Mine All Mine"? The girl? Is
Yeah.
the girl
Everything
there?
is Sammy's. Everything.
It doesn't grab you.
I don't think so. I don't think it.
And the
My
Credible
personal
Rock
feeling is
does?
it doesn't grab you. It does.
David Lee
I
Roth,
think
how can you
that
go wrong?
speaks out to
I mean,
a generation out there that you know.
again, it's like you said.
Because they're robbing cradles.
You
is
came
that
in.
it?
That's right.
Well, back then, yeah.
The cradle will rock. The kids are rocking. You know, how much better of a statement can you get than that? The kids are rocking.
Kids
Oh,
wanna
she's
rock.
mine and mine, all mine. That's my feeling. Like I said, it's not a terrible song, but I think
I would have picked Pound Cake over that if I was going to pick a Van Hagar song.
I think so too. I think so. That
Pound
would have
Cake
been
like the drum.
Yeah,
The drill.
Yeah.
The drill
And,
song.
and I hope they pick Pound Cake for another category because I have a couple comments about that. But since that wasn't a pick, I'm not going to comment on it right now. So I mean that's my thoughts on it. BC, you have anything to add to that rebuttal there?
No, that's pretty good.
But this is BB's favorite song, so
That's
let
right.
him talk about it.
Okay, well, BB, let's hear
Defend
what,
your
what
song,
you
boy.
want. Why is that better than?
I thought Mine All Mine was a great song because it actually carried over from 5150 the way Eddie played his guitar, and it's more of Eddie's solo in that song more than anything. And I know where you're going with the Pound Cake and the drill, but Mine All Mine came out first, and it's still stuck in my head and still number one in my heart. So that's why I had to go with that one.
Okay, so why do you think "And the Cradle Will Rock" is an inferior song? I want to hear some stuff about that.
Boy, you didn't come out with anything right off the bat there. You know,
It's
crickets.
Overplayed.
It isn't. That's one thing about the two songs.
Where's it overplayed though?
I don't know.
Not many people are going to know.
It's
Mine
just
All
something
Mine.
to say.
Right.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't know that many Dave songs because I don't really like Dave. But I know
Don't
"And
be
the
like
Cradle
that.
Will Rock" because I've heard it a lot.
Because that's on a greatest hit album. You know, ours is not. Ours isn't the mainstream song you're going to hear all the time.
Right.
You know, Mine All Mine is maybe played in.
Play the hits.
Play the
Right.
hits, yeah.
And
But I mean-
that's not a hit.
Yeah, but
You guys keep
Right.
saying.
But "In the Cradle Will Rock" is a hit for a reason. There's a reason why "Mine Oh Mine" is not a greatest hits. "In the Cradle Will Rock" is. That's going to be my
That's all
final
right,
word
'cause
on that.
OU812 was a #1 album, and David didn't have one, so
That's all right.
that's all I got.
I'm still going. I'm still going with the don't play the hits.
Okay.
Okay,
Because you're gonna hear the Cradle Will Rock when Van Halen plays. You're
if
not
they're going to
hear
play the
Mine
hits,
All
they're going to
Mine.
play everything.
Thank
from
God.
David Lee Roth.
Okay, well, I have to say you both brought up some pretty good points. I thought that the overplayed was like a pretty good point. You do hear it a ton.
Really?
Like on
As you should.
On Sirius XM, I hear it all the time.
But
like on
there's
Rock
songs
107,
that
they'll
should
play
be
it.
played a lot.
Classic.
I think both of you dropped the ball, and you should have picked the other opening track that you both mentioned, "Running with the Devil" and "Pound Cake." I think they're both better opening tracks. And I also think that "Good Enough" is pretty underrated too from 5150. I think it's a good introduction to Sammy.
See, I think "Good Enough" was a horrible choice to start when you started the "Hello, baby." They were trying to be too much Dave. He was trying to be too much like Dave right off the bat.
Well, I see you were really ready to argue against that one.
I know. I know.
But I do have to side with the David Lee Roth side for this one, only because they seem to have it a little more put together on this one. So point goes to David Lee Roth.
Sweet. Good
Okay.
job, BC.
Next topic.
And actually, I do have to say, BC made the call on that song. I was.
It was the wrong call, but you argued it well enough.
We still got the point.
Okay, so the next category, which we'll start off with the Van Hagar side saying their choice first, as they chose to kick, and apparently that's
Backfired.
Apparently.
And we reflip.
Apparently.
so.
No do-overs.
The next topic is the best vocal performance in a song. What song has your singer at his peak vocal performance, gusto and quality? What do you got?
So here we go. We picked another song that is under the radar, that is not a hit. The song is called "Not Enough." It is off the Balance album.
Off of Balance, wow.
It's it really exploits Sammy's way of singing, his harmonics, his tone, the way him and Michael Anthony kind of make like that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, how their vocals
harmonize very well.
Exactly.
But we're not talking about Michael Anthony though.
It's best vocal performance.
You need a background
By
vocalist.
Sammy, right? Not by
It's
Sammy
best
and
vocal
Michael.
performance in a song. Don't let them say their choice.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And actually,
I was warned about this shit too.
In maybe towards the middle of the song, actually, all of them sing
They do.
the harmonics of one of the verses.
Okay. So we have not enough off of balance for Van Hagar. What does the David Lee Roth side have for this part?
Do you want to take this one, BC, or want me to take it?
I'm gonna go with the Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man off of the debut album Van Halen. Okay. Why do you pick Ice Cream Man?
Just he's singing with just very little band behind him at one point.
Yeah, because actually David Lee Roth does play the acoustic guitars on the songs that that there are acoustic guitars on. The other awesome song that he does that on also was "Take Your Whiskey Home," and that was going to be our second pick. I'm gonna throw this out there right now. David Lee Roth has never been known for his great vocal performances.
Oh, God, no.
That is just such a quintessential Van Halen song, even though I believe it is a cover song also. But the performance on it is great. He gives such a feel into that song. He might as well be singing The Beer Man, Just crack a beer, Ice Cream Man push-ups too, Ice Cream Man and Corona Lights too, or something like that.
Corona Lights too.
So that's our pick. We like the way Dave sings it. He really gets into it, and he's guaranteed to satisfy.
That was a great rendition.
Do you like that? That's awesome. That's
You
why
guys
we're.
actually sound better than Dave.
That's why we're.
Yeah. That vocal
that's why.
performance was.
Yeah.
I would download that before I would
All right,
download
so
the actual. Ice
so
Cream.
maybe we'll put down Ice Cream Man by Stephen BC.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, so Ice Cream
$14.95.
Man versus Not Enough. Fight it out.
We can rebut against that. I'm
gonna
going
say,
to
I'm not really-
rebut against that song. That
Do you know Not Enough?
once
I'm not
again,
really familiar
I've
with it.
probably heard it twice.
I'm glad you did the
It's pretty good. It's all right. I think there are better songs that Sammy showed his vocal prowess on than that. I think they're trying to go under the radar to beat us, BC, with stuff that we're not familiar with. But I think I'm going to beat them with.
Why are we not familiar with
like,
it? Because it was
right,
very
right.
popular.
Like Ice Cream Man is like the second last song on like an 11-song album, but like that song. And Not Enough is like the 7th song on Balance. You know what? Off the top of your head, anybody out there, name the 7th song and name the 8th song on that album. Can you do it off the top of your head? No.
But that's not what you're arguing right now. You're arguing
Yeah.
vocal performance.
I am, but
So
like
stick
if
to the topic,
if
please.
it was a better song, like it would be more recognizable. Oh my God, that Sammy Hagar song is so. If someone said, "What's a cool song for Sammy to sing?" Like, I don't know if anybody out there would pick "Not Enough."
Well, they just did. So.
Yeah, we
Well,
did.
besides these guys, I think but that's the point though. They're trying to go under the radar to sneak one in past the goalie.
Okay, well, I've heard a lot about their machinations, but why is Dave's vocal performance on Ice Cream Man better than Sammy's on Not Enough?
Because Dave puts that party feel into it, and it's one of the few songs that I think he actually sings.
Okay, is it okay?
That's
Yeah.
singing.
So out of 7 albums, it's finally coming out that that's the only song that Dave actually sings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not the
Yeah.
only
Not
song.
the only
just
song,
said
one of them.
Basically.
You just said the only
They're
song.
paraphrasing.
Sammy side, what do you got?
And is Ice Cream Man a cover?
It is.
Yeah.
Again,
It is a cover.
Can't even sing his
why
own
can't
songs
why
good.
can't he why are you picking a cover song that someone has already sung before?
And probably
Because he
better.
made it better.
The
No.
question is what
Vocal performance.
vocal performance. It doesn't matter if
It
it's a
doesn't
cover
say
song
vocal
or
performance of an
an
original song.
Yeah.
I'm just saying vocal performance in a song.
Not
True.
Enough.
See?
Sammy has so many levels. He's low. He's
And the
high.
whole band is actually singing in the song, not
can
just
go
one.
I will make this
Any
vow.
range.
If these guys win the point, I will actually go back and listen to this song.
If not,
Again.
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 Anybody have any closing thoughts on that one? Or
I say just look at the depth of the song and who out there has heard of this song.
okay,
Dave is monotone.
okay,
Now that's totally wrong. That is totally wrong.
okay. Well,
Okay.
I have to say, yet again, you guys dropped the ball. I think that there's better. I think Dave's performance on "Could This Be Magic" is pretty good. Like you could actually hear him kind of singing, and it's all acoustic because you brought up like he sings with the acoustic, but then he's lost to the band again.
I know. I tend not to pick songs that I hate.
Well, okay.
I don't think either one of us thought of that one.
No.
I feel like the Sammy side made more points about why the vocal performance is better, like the vocal quality is better than Dave's. You guys were just like, oh, it's an Ice Cream Man's a more well-known song, which was the point you made last time. And you guys are just repeating yourself. So I
we were trying to pull like a Bill and Ted. Sanity was high school football rocks.
Yeah, and it's rules. and it's rules. If you actually got the quote right, I might have given you the point. But it's
I'm like them. I'm paraphrasing.
It's Van Hagar.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you guys need to listen to the question and answer to the question.
You need to actually listen to the song.
Okay. On that one,
I think Love Walks In is a better vocal performance.
I didn't think that's what I was
Love
talking.
Walks In or Why Can't This Be Love? I think
That's what I was talking about. That was
Like
my point I was trying to make.
Like that's pretty good, but still, I mean, you guys want the point, so I'm just gonna.
See, but I think we should get half a point because they try to sneak a song that no one has an idea what the hell it is.
No, they're giving the discography, and
Every
the fact
Sammy
that they did their research and know that should actually give them more.
Every Sammy
You guys
song
are
is
tied.
So good.
Like you're arguing over points already. Come on.
There should be
He
half
doesn't
point.
wanna lose. What do you want?
Wow. Okay. So the third topic of the Great Van Halen debate.
Goes to David Lee Roth.
No, not yet. It might if you actually debate the question that's asked.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be a foregone conclusion, I think.
Okay, so the third topic is the best studio album from your artist. And I believe that the Sammy side went first last time. So Dave's side, you guys get to receive, right? Is that the football term?
We are, yes. We are going to take, if you guys have listened to our podcast, you know that myself and BC, we're not conformists, as you would say. We don't usually pick the obvious thing, but this time we are going to. We are going to pick Van Halen's self-titled 1978.
Okay, the debut album. Do you want to say a little bit about why that album is the best studio album?
I will. Do you mind, BC?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the quintessential Van Halen album that every single Van Halen album from Van Halen 1 to A Different Kind of Truth was modeled after. Every Van Halen album that was ever recorded was striving to get to the status, maybe not the sales status, but the feel and the music of this first album. There is not a song on there that says, that song's okay. Every song on that album, my opinion,
Yes.
and I could probably speak for BC, is fucking awesome. Running with the Devil, like, you yourself said it, best opening song. We went, as we do, under the radar. Running with the Devil. You go from Running with the Devil through all the songs, and they end with On Fire, because that album is just fucking on fire.
Okay, Sammy's side. What do you got?
We're going with 5150.
5150. So we're going the
Awesome
debut
album.
albums of each singer. Would you guys want to say a little bit about 5150?
Well, number one, it was number one.
Number one. Okay.
Their first, Van Halen's first number one album. Obviously, had to wait until Sammy got in the group.
BB, any comments?
It was named
Boy,
after
he can't even say anything about it,
was
really?
named
I don't know
after-
where to start because it's such a great album.
It is. Every song is awesome. It was named after Eddie's studio.
And does anybody know what the studio is named after itself?
Crazy people.
Yep.
Yes.
It is the Los
police
Angeles.
code.
It's actually named after Jen.
Oh, that's right. That is my number.
That's how she knew it.
5150.
That is.
Yeah.
And actually, that's your number twice because your house number is 50 if I'm not correct, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it is.
And our
I'm in
town number is
Carbondale.
51.
So I am
That's
the
crazy.
5150.
That's true. So maybe we should go record at Jen's house.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. I'm in.
Okay, but Sam, you guys, BB, I saw you gathering your thoughts with your Wikipedia page.
Right. Yeah. It was number one album, first Van Halen actual album to peak at number one. So it took a new singer to do that. So between Best of Both Worlds, Dreams, Love Walks In, Why Can't This Be Love, and Summer Nights, you know, Van Halen went a totally different direction from that. These two guys want to say the party direction.
Exactly.
And they went to the...
Why would you not want to party?
Hold on.
They
Let
wanted to
the
go,
folks speak.
and they wanted to do something musically different. Eddie wanted to play synthesizers. Dave didn't want to do that. Dave wanted to do an album of covers, like he's done for years. It was the first Van Halen album that didn't have an instrumental. So as much as we were sick of, you know, guitar solos and drum solos. It was the first Van Halen album not to have an instrumental on it. So they didn't waste any space.
Okay. 5150 versus Van Halen. Duke it out.
All right, people.
We're going
First
to let
of
BC go on this bad boy.
First of all, you're talking 1978 compared to 1986, which the world is totally different.
Absolutely,
It
totally
was
different.
just- I mean, I'm going to blow up here with too much fucking shit in my brain. It's just that
I have heard you
1978
called shit for brains before.
1978 is just fucking. It was. You put an album out, and it was the album. There was no videos back then. Just
no video,
live
they
shows.
weren't
And
playing
just, I mean, granted,
That came out during disco.
yeah, like nothing against 5150. Don't get me wrong, but you're comparing apples and oranges. It's like
They're
rock
both
and roll.
fruits.
Well, fruits.
And so are you.
Apples and potatoes. How's that? But I mean, in my opinion, it's just so much more. Let's do a video. Let's get it on the radio. We're back in 1978. Let's rock and roll. There was no radio hits. There was radio, but there wasn't the push as there was in the mid 80s to late 80s to have that hit. And get on the radio was the biggest thing.
Right.
The
And
videos and all
And-
that other shit.
and my thing is 5150, I mean, good album. Don't get me wrong, good
Oh,
album.
God, no. We're not saying it's not a good album.
Although, also in 1986, David Lee Roth released his first album, which is way better than 5150. Eat 'em and Smile.
Really? Why didn't it get to number one?
Because they didn't push it as much, and there wasn't as many radio-friendly songs on there. And I think, if anyone say that,
I'm going to go. I mean, not only this Van Halen shit, but in this time frame, '86, every band was fucking doing this bullshit video ballad song. Let's get on the radio. And don't get me wrong, that's how they made their money.
Well, we can't help that Eddie did not have Sammy in the band earlier. That's not our fault.
Thank God.
Thank God.
You can't blame us for
Just
that.
think of all the money they would have made and how many
Yeah.
number one albums
Exactly.
they would have made if
They would have had a
if
lot
Sammy
more
started
number ones.
earlier.
So we can't blame the years because it's not our fault.
Right, like you said, BC, it's a totally different time frame.
It
It is. I mean, the whole
78.
world, everything.
Like you can't Van Halen 1 is an iconic album.
It is.
And
It is.
It's
It is.
I agree
very,
with that.
very-
It
it's
is.
very hard to duke it out between that album and this album.
And to come out with 5150 with the new
But
vocalist of all
but
things
still,
to come
what
out
you
with.
have to really think of is, as great of an album as Van Halen 1 is, it still never made number one. Still didn't make number one. Yeah, this guy's coming in, new singer, new direction, more melodic tone to their songs, and it goes to number one, and it blows the
Because
doors
they,
off of
they
any
became
other-
more commercial. Though.
But let me throw this
Yeah,
out
but
there.
that was the
It became
time.
more-
That was also
and
the
that
time.
was the time. I agree. with
Let me
that
let me
too.
throw this out there. If it wasn't for Van Halen 1, right?
What would it be
If
if
5150 came out, if Sammy Hagar, Eddie Van Halen, Alex Van Halen, and Michael Anthony got together in 1986, recorded 5150, there's no fucking way in the world that album would have been number one.
No.
They had the name already. A lot of the sales for that was curiosity. Let's see what the fuck they sound like now. If it wasn't for Van Halen 1, you would have no 5150. You wouldn't, because Van Halen, you could, here we go again, Steve with Kiss. Kiss is a band that became a brand that is still a band. Van Halen was a band that became a brand that is still a band. So that name is out there already. It's out there. They have their other albums under their belt, and you would not have had that much of sales if it was not for the prior
exactly
Van Halen.
Because that's the only reason I bought it. I mean,
I
I was
just-
a fan of Sammy
I bought it
Hagar
curiously.
before Van Halen. So
Yeah.
I liked Sammy.
Sammy Soul
I like
sounds
Van
great.
Halen. So let's see what this is.
And the album that Sammy Hagar had out right before that was VOA.
Classic.
Great album. And
Because
you
she
know,
likes dick in the dirt.
and she wants to hit him where it hurts. But I mean, you would. That's my point. You would not have had that if it wasn't for the other Van Halen fans. And I seriously bought it out of curiosity's sake. Let's see what these guys sound like, because I think one of the songs, whatever the first single was, came up on the radio. You know, and I was like, oh, it was all right. But you know, and there's some good stuff on there.
Yes.
But there's no iconic songs on there. I'm sorry, there's not. Like
Dreams.
Dreams.
Iconic.
The reason that's iconic is because the fucking Blue Angels are on the video.
I think the two songs, "Love Walks In" and "Why Can't This Be Love," are that and "Dreams." They're three top Sammy songs. That
Like Summer Nights is better than those songs. That's
Inside
both
is the
worlds.
best song on the album. My opinion.
5150.
See, now that's the song
I
on
love
that
it.
album that I hate the most. I
Really?
Best
hate
of both
that
worlds.
fucking
Summer
song.
Nights, Get Up. I mean, they're more better than.
Yeah, like
It's
the
just
Rockers.
my
But
opinion,
like,
just-
you cannot put go if you go song by song, which there's less songs on 5150, by the way. If you go song by song, you can't put Good Enough against Running with the Devil. They don't even come close. Match them song by song. Like Dylan mentioned in another episode, what band puts a guitar solo second song? So consider Eruption and You Really Got Me as one song. You can put that against Why Can't This Be Love? Like, really? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, why?
You know?
Why can't it be?
Because they're not even in the same league.
But
Okay, I want to
I'm
hear
pretty
more
sure
from.
"Why Can't This Be Love" was a #1 single.
It's like trying to compare like porn to cartoons. I mean, it's not the
Porn
same.
and cartoons. What the fuck?
I don't feel like that's accurate. But
You really,
It is. Fucking serious.
so. In other words, you like cartoons better than porn.
yeah.
No. I don't mean that. I mean just the two categories.
You Really Got Me, not a #1 single. "Why Can't This Be Love" was a #1 single.
Because it's radio-ish.
I'm just going by of how Eddie's musical brain went a totally right turn. He said, you know,
To where he wanted to be.
where he wanted, because Dave wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do. It all had to be Dave, and let's do 87 covers. And, you know, Eddie wanted to go in the other direction, wanted to be more melodic, wanted to do synthesizers, and he did it. And he came out with a #1 album. I know we keep going back to #1 album, but it's still a #1 album.
I just look at it song for song. How many songs
Classic
did they
songs.
play live off of that album? Let's see. Did they play Good Enough? I don't think they did. Did they? Let me just look through my notes real quick here.
Damn it.
I have something when they released
They did not.
the Live Without a Net.
I have it right in front of me.
Okay.
There is no Good Enough on there. Why Can't This Be Love? Did they play that? They didn't play that
Yes.
either.
They
Oh
did
yeah,
Best
yeah.
of
That's
Both
down
Worlds?
the bottom. That's on the
Did they
bottom.
do Best of Both Worlds? I think they did that one too.
Get Up. They did not do live. Dreams.
Yes,
they did live.
They did Get Up.
Did they?
#4.
On that? Oh, they did. Okay. Well, at least they played a rockin' song. Summer Nights is not. That's on there too.
Summer Nights.
Well, actually,
Dreams.
I'm sorry. I'm
gonna
kicking
tell- I'm
myself
gonna
in the
tell you.
balls here.
I'm gonna say
But-
they
but-
released Live Without a Net.
Live Without a Net right
couple
after that.
months
So
after the
they
album.
did.
Okay.
So okay. But if you go to Live Right Here, Right Now, how many of them songs are still on that? You know, so many years later,
Dreams, Love Walks In,
and probably Best of Both Worlds.
Why Can't This Be Love,
Best of Both Worlds.
Best of Both Worlds. So there's 4.
4 out of 9. Not a bad ratio.
How many of the Van Halen 1 were on Live Right Here, Right Now?
Probably one.
Just out of
One. But
curiosity.
at that point, they're like, we don't want to play the Dave stuff. But let me throw this out there. And David Lee Roth said it himself. He said, Sammy Hagar could play as many live shows as he wants with Van Halen, but he will always have to play a David Lee Roth Van Halen song. But you will never, ever see David Lee Roth play a Sammy Hagar Van Halen song.
Okay,
He
well,
can't.
He can't sing
He
it.
can't sing it. There is not
There-
one.
and that's a
Can he-
subject. That's a
there's no-
subject we'll get into deeper because that's not what we're arguing right now.
Yeah.
But I think I have enough information that I could close this debate.
All right.
Okay, I think both of you picked pretty awesome albums. I would have went Women and Children first, but that's just personal preference. I think Van Halen 1 is probably the.
I
album
knew that
to
was
argue
Dylan's
against
favorite
it.
album, so if we wanted to kiss ass, I could have picked that.
Yeah,
one. But we
those
did
are
not.
good. I feel like the Van Hagar side made some really good points with the #1 hits, and you kind of shot yourself in the foot there with the how many of these songs did they play live?
Well, we're gonna edit that shit out. So
No.
hey, I know the producer.
A point that I would have made about Van Halen. It's like they had 2 covers on their debut album, and there wasn't any covers on 5150. But I do think you guys...
I touched a little bit on the covers.
Even the cover songs are better than
That's
the
why
song.
there was 11.
They are really.
They are.
I
They
do
are.
think...
I'd put You Really Got Me up against any song on that
It's-
Ice Cream Man. I would put up against anything on it.
I mean, it's really... The debate's over. We're in the
Sorry.
deliberation
It's never
part.
over.
Give it up.
We're going to still debate this
I mean,
until
it's
next week.
It's difficult to argue against like the first Van Halen album. That was a tough. I knew
the
they were probably going to pick
foundation.
that. I was hoping that they would maybe
could
give
you-
you guys a break,
How could you not?
but I have to go with David Lee Roth on that one. But you guys did come
Booyah.
very
Awesome.
close and made a lot of really good points.
No.
I do like 51.
I was
saying
kidding.
awesome.
I was kidding. Awesome.
Okay, so it's 2-1.
She's happy
Roth
for us.
to Hagar.
No.
Okay, so the next topic up for discussion is the worst of the worst. So for this one,
No, you skipped one.
I know
you skipped one.
I can do it in
Oh,
any
okay.
order I want.
All right.
I'm the
Sheesh.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm the what did you call me? The monitor?
The monitor. The monitor's
the
monitor's
monitor.
going off.
You can do
Can I
what
have
the fuck you
Hulk
want.
list, please?
Okay, we're doing the worst of the worst. So what I had them do is I
Shift.
had the David Lee Roth side pick the worst Sammy Hagar song,
Okay.
and I had the Sammy Hagar side pick the worst David Lee Roth song in Van Halen.
That's probably why they took so long, BC, picking all their stuff. It was hard to find one.
So what
Well, they're
happens here
all
is
awful. So.
the song that the David Lee Roth side picked has to be defended by the Sammy Hagar side and vice versa. So who went first this last time? It was you guys,
It
right?
was,
so
it was the good guys. With
Sammy
first last
Hagar
time.
side, why don't you tell what song you are having the David Lee Roth people defend?
This is
What is
all
the
BB.
worst David Lee Roth song?
The worst David Lee Roth song is, surprisingly, another cover because David can't write his own music. It is going to be Happy Trails.
Off of what album?
That is off of Diver Down. It is the very last song, so it may have been some kind of filler, but
Okay.
Just to end it.
yeah.
David Lee
The
Roth.
end, it was like the gauntlet of the worst album they ever released.
Okay, David Lee Roth side. What worst Sammy song did you pick for them to defend?
Can't Stop Loving You. I mean, that's just so like.
Oh, you can?
I
That's
can't
so
stop.
sweet.
You're awesome. We love you.
Aw, I knew it.
Can't stop loving Dave.
Can't Stop Loving You off of what album?
I think they wrote that about Dave.
They did. They did.
It just didn't turn out good though.
What album is that off of?
That's
It's
off of
off
Oh
of-
You 812.
No,
No.
bounce.
No?
Bounce.
Oh, is it?
It's off of Balance.
I know you're not familiar
The
with that
number
album,
2
people.
song.
Oh yes. I'm sorry.
The number 2 song against the number and the last one.
Okay, so
I'm like I gotta say I'm like the Jen of our team because actually we probably both are.
We both
'cause,
are,
like,
I mean,
we're fucking clueless on the Sammy shit.
And nothing against Sammy. I love
You know,
Sammy, but
Remember, you do have a timeout that you could call at any time. If
Is it
you
like a
need
phone
to.
a friend?
Yeah,
Phone
Can
a
you
friend.
call someone else?
We need a lifeline.
Okay,
Okay.
so who wants to defend their song first?
We will defend our song first.
Okay.
What are we picking again? Oh, we have to go with the one they picked, right?
Yeah, so you have to defend Happy Trails.
Happy Trails is like fucking. It's awesome.
Why is it awesome?
I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is pulled strictly out of my ass here.
yes.
It's a classic Roy Rogers song, man. Him and Dale Evans on the trail. They're singing "Happy Trails" to you.
Westerns, baby.
I personally
Blue.
think that when they sing "Happy Trails," and actually they even did it live. I think that's one of the songs they did live. And like, thank God, and it's the perfect song for that album for it being the last because they're saying "Happy Trails" to the crappiest Van Halen album that they ever fucking recorded.
That's true.
And so it's "Happy Trails" to Diver Down.
Diver Down,
You know,
yes.
I mean, you can't beat that. So they may say it's the worst song. That's our debate, but I think it's the most appropriate Van Halen song that they've recorded. So
we never see you again.
yeah. So that's what we got on that one. And then I thought they were going to pick this one too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so-
we would have picked this song too, I probably think, right? Seriously, if you
It would have
looked
been
at
it would have been in our top three
would have
of
been in top
songs we
three.
would have picked. Absolutely.
Okay, how about Van Hagar side? Defend
I think
your
that just
song,
lost us.
Can't Stop Loving You.
Well, let's see. It peaked on the mainstream rock chart at number 2.
Number 2.
So,
Charts. What about
obviously, it can't
Let them
be
make their
one
point.
of the worst songs if it's number 2. So people bought the album or the single or the little cassette or little record and
Still records.
What's a
baby.
cassette?
Yeah, baby.
So number 2, and once again, Sammy's vocals. I don't understand how you can say that's the word. Sammy's vocals is just.
His song's just lacking. I mean,
It is.
Would you guys let them make their points?
Well, I thought that was a question to us.
I thought he was talking to us. I don't know
guys
what the
don't
fuck.
like it because it's a love song. That's
No,
all.
it has
doesn't
nothing to do
help.
with love.
Jen, do you want to make an opening statement as well?
Come on, Jen, talk to us.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome song.
Ah, you
Can't
gotta
stop
give us more
loving
than
you.
that.
What-
It's not awesome because
You're
you
married.
say
You
it's
can't be
awesome.
saying that to me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to look at you when I
Okay.
said that.
You're looking right at me.
Okay.
But I even love in the middle of the song, or what is that? I don't know. Somewhere in the song, "Hey Ray," which is "Say Is True." They're talking about Ray Charles. I mean, it's an awesome song.
Okay.
And
let's-
actually, if you know, I know we're going about songs, but if you go back to watch the video,
I'm gonna disqualify that. We're talking about the song.
okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
That might be another topic.
Okay,
Very good.
cut it off.
So, okay, fight it out. Happy Trails versus Can't Stop
Yes,
Loving
I
You.
can't
A
stop
song
loving
that
you. It's
never
just-
made a
it's
song
so
that never
sappy.
made the charts to a song that ranked number 2.
Yeah, because it's just so thrown out
Okay,
on the
I
radio.
feel like I'm gonna disqualify the sappy remark because they're both sappy songs.
Yeah,
they're both,
Happy
I mean-
Trails. Well, I want to kill myself. No,
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go out the.
Hey, we're not crazy about it either.
I'm going outside the box here, and it's just like overall for.
Is this your soapbox song? Is this your
No,
soapbox?
I know. But it's just that it's just so I can't stop loving you. It's just like so blah.
Yeah, don't you have any little love in your life, BC?
No, fuck
Don't you
everybody.
wanna- yeah, come on.
Anger.
See?
Wow.
Oh, boy.
No banging.
I know.
I swear to God.
See, BC.
I might
see?
disqualify this answer right now.
No way.
Continue.
But you know what I mean? It's just so like I can't. It's just so poppyish and just
It
so.
is.
And that's how that's how
what-
mainstream was back
And-
then.
And that's what
That's
Eddie
what's wrong with the
wanted.
world.
That's what happened to rock. It started going downhill in 1986.
That's why.
Fuck, it went downhill.
You know what?
87 it was bad. 88, 89, then fucking 90 came. Everything blew the fuck up.
Wow.
End of story.
He's loud.
Here
All
we
of
are,
a sudden,
BC
he's
soapbox.
loud.
That was another rendition.
Congratulations,
But-
BC.
BC has a valid point there. That is one of the reasons why grunge
Came
everyone's
in
fucking
and kicked
ass.
the fuck out of rock.
because of songs like that.
Exactly. Seriously, how can you not say
It
this?
is. You know it. Look at it.
What
Hey,
is
listen,
wrong with
listen,
grunge?
seriously.
I know this is a rock
Let's,
show, but
no,
what
it's
is
nothing
wrong
wrong,
with
but-
grunge?
I mean,
We
just
listen. Let's do. Even though this is only an audio only podcast here,
God.
I want to see a show of hands here, and we'll say who's raising their hands. Who would rather listen to Alice in Chains' "Man in the Box" or White, or what's the name of the song again?
Can't Stop Loving You.
Can't Stop Loving You.
Well,
okay,
Man
let's
in
see
the
the hands.
Box.
Show hands for "Man in the Box."
I don't like Man in the Box at all, so.
I do
We
not.
got
Come
oh,
right there, baby.
me,
Come on.
myself, BC,
Well, see,
and
that's
Dylan are
why
raising
you
our
threw
hands.
Man in
But
the Box.
here's
Maybe
the
if you
thing.
said Rooster, maybe I
That
would have
has
been
nothing to
different.
do with the song. You're just talking about like the
It
type
does.
of like
The type
Happy
of-
Trails. Is it anywhere near that?
It does.
You
Man
can
in the
almost
Box
say.
is too much whining.
I feel like you can make that same point at Happy Trails. That's
I
all
picked
I'm
that song for a reason.
I know.
Well, why don't you
That's
do
what I like.
something different?
They were ready for their diatribe about grunge and. Okay,
We knew we were gonna have to throw it in there somewhere.
Sammy, guys, let's hear some rebuttals.
Number 2 single compared to nothing. It never made it anywhere. And
Ours
it
was
is
never a
their
single.
own song. They did not have to steal someone else's song.
No offense, but you guys keep going back to number one this, number one
Because-
that.
No offense, but you guys
fuck the
picked.
hits. Because music and real rock is not about being a hit. It's about fucking rock
Yeah,
and roll.
It's about
but you
feeling.
noticed our other answers were not hits.
But I do have to say,
So.
you guys picked Happy Trails, not us.
Because it was awful.
Yeah,
That's why we picked
that's
it.
why we picked
Well,
this
so
one.
you're saying well, you guys are saying this, but
Well,
like,
that's true. You're right.
see,
Yeah, my
okay,
mistake.
I'm glad someone
Okay,
finally
yeah.
you got
You're
that
right.
point.
You're right.
Your connections mean nothing.
However, he still has to
Shut up, Dylan.
steal other people's songs to put on their album because they can't make their own good ones.
On that, I do agree. Like Diver Down, I love Van Halen. There's like
It's 5 out of the what 11 songs?
11
12
songs.
songs.
Yeah.
and I do that. The Diver Down for me is like
And one of
Elder
them's a-
from Kiss.
Yes.
I'm surprised that album didn't end.
You know,
live
Diver
right there.
Down. I think Kiss should have put Happy Trails at the end of the album.
Morpheus, you have been summoned here to offer your judgment of the boy. To
You know, like I said, you guys picked that song.
BB, it looked like
I really, you know, we really have no defense for Heavy Trails.
That's what they.
If you like westerns, maybe
it should be an easy win for us. That's all.
You got a respond there.
I don't appreciate you assuming that, but okay.
I'm gonna make an ass out of me, NBC.
I'm
not you.
really sorry.
this all depends on if the monitor, the hall monitor, wants to walk home tonight or not. I don't.
Any closing thoughts?
Happy Trails to this category.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be here all freaking night.
Okay.
And remember, you guys picked the song.
Okay, so those were two tough songs to argue for. I feel like you could have picked a worse Van Hagar song, honestly.
Well, like I said, we don't
do you
really know a
pick
lot
one?
of them.
I mean, yeah.
Actually, I'm holding up the Van Hagar songs for you people. You can't see this. There's a lot of songs here. We just put it up on the wall and threw a dart, and that's the song that it landed on. It could have been any one of them.
Okay. Well,
I let him pick because I hate all of Dave's songs.
I think
Well, that's not true.
So you're not giving him a chance.
No, I actually
Be honest,
Panama
be
is my
honest.
favorite.
Okay.
I appreciated the long ass diatribe you went on.
Boy, that
about
was
the death
a
of
long
music.
defense.
That was.
Holy fuck.
That's
His
the,
face was getting red from the
That's
ache.
the truth.
No,
Because
talk about sane anger. Jeez.
That's the truth.
All right, just tell us who wins.
But
Come on.
I feel like I have to give it to the Van Hagar people because
Score.
they made like the point that it charted, that it wasn't a cover, that he was comfortable enough to make their own songs.
We'll give him that one.
It was tough
Grandpa.
to argue for Happy Trails because that's just not a great song. So I have to give the point to Van Hagar. So it's tied up 2-2.
The crowd goes wild.
Okay, the next category up for debate. What is the best ballad of your person? The best ballad. Okay, so the group that went first last time was I keep forgetting.
It was us.
Okay, so it's going to be the David Lee Roth side
The
to
McCoys went first.
lead off. What is the best David Lee Roth Van Halen ballad?
We're going to say I'll wait because
There wasn't a lot to pick from,
there's not a lot of pick
which
from.
is a sad commentary, which we will continue the conversation from the last one. Like Van Halen at that point, they had very few ballads. They had Secrets was on Diver Down, which was one of the few original songs on there, which I wish they did another cover instead of it. The first couple, Little Dreamer maybe be like the first ballad-ish song that they did. We picked I'll Wait. Cool song, and I really think if you listen to I'll Wait on the Van Halen live Tokyo Dome live in concert video, that song sounds fucking awesome on there. And I was never really a big fan. If you listen to the show, BC and I are not fans of ballads or hits for the most part. But I'll Wait is a pretty good song overall. It has a decent feel to it, and as far as ballads go, like I said, there wasn't very many to pick from for Van Halen with David Lee Roth, but that's our pick.
Okay, Van Hagar, what do you got?
Well, this is my number one all-time favorite song. When It's Love. Awesome song.
Okay.
Number one single on a number one album. You can't get much better than that.
When It's Love off of OU 812.
Well, you 812. What'd they eat?
David Lee Roth's
Shit
album.
sandwich.
That was a dig that you didn't even smile, wasn't it?
It was. Yes, it was.
According to Alex,
Probably.
it was something he
It-
saw
no,
off the
it's a-
side of a delivery truck, but it has been purported that it is a dig.
It is.
Okay,
my
so
mind.
it's All Wait off of 1984 versus. But first, before we get into the debate, I'm going to actually let them make some points about why When It's Love deserves
Number
it.
one song.
Okay.
Number one album.
Because Jen likes it.
And it's my favorite song.
Jen
And
likes
I
it.
said so.
Okay.
So
That's
I'm-
the bottom line.
I am the only
I'm throwing a
female.
flag.
Okay.
And it's tattooed.
And it's tattooed
And it's
on
tattooed
my
her
foot.
So
She has it in ink.
And we will
Yeah.
post a picture of Jen's foot with that on there.
However, it is in Hawaiian.
Oh, so that could fucking say anything.
No eye contact.
think it says Dave Slugs.
Cultural Center in
You could say,
Hawaii.
go Dave.
I think it may say Sammy's bitch or something on there. I don't know.
I
Look,
would
we're
love
gonna
to be
have
Sammy's bitch.
Any people in Hawaii listening to us,
I would
we want
definitely
a
be.
translation.
Okay, let's have at it.
Who's up?
When It's Love versus I'll Wait. Whoever wants to go first. I'll wait.
This was
Will you?
This was hard for me personally because Van Halen was not
A ballad
with
band.
David was not a ballad band, and back in the David years, and I'm not trying to discriminate.
Yeah, sure.
There wasn't that ballad thing. The band did not have to come out with a ballad to make it big or get
Right.
radio airplay.
Van Halen at that point got to where they were by their rock,
Live
not by,
shows.
like Whitesnake, When It's Love, by Scorpions, Still Loving You, shit like that. That stuff at that point was not necessary for a
Again,
band
back in
to make it.
1986 when the roads started going downhill.
Okay, so
It's probably why they don't have a #1 album,
Why
because
is-
they had no ballads.
why is Owl Wait the best ballad of Van Halen's?
Well, number one, because it's one of the few ballads that they have.
That Van Halen as a total? I'm talking like, why is your song?
I'm talking Van Halen with David Lee Roth. It was one of the very few.
Is
We're
that the
talking
only reason
ballads
you
here.
picked it?
One of the
And Van Halen was on drums.
But I'm going to say,
I need to hear some more points.
I'm
is
going to
what
say
saying.
Van Halen's point with David Lee Roth that we do not have the plethora of
You're still not answering
songs
the
to
question.
choose
Why
from.
is your song better than theirs?
Because it was less gay.
Just admit that it's not. It's not better.
Okay, minus homophobia. Why is your song better than? Just give me something.
There's more meat and potatoes.
the solo in it is awesome.
Yes.
Okay, that's an actual point. Well,
It is.
Is there any other ones you want to
And
share?
actually, I thought that it translated live really good, and that was in, like we've discussed many times. We're not fans of ballads and shit like that, but when I heard that on the live Tokyo Dome, I was like, wow, that sounds really, really good live. Listen to that live, everybody out there. If there's a video out there of it, I will post it. If not, I'll just post the audio. The guitar in that song sounds just great live. It translated really well. It really did. And actually, I thought that Dave sang it actually really well on the live album.
Okay. How about the Van Hagar side? I hope you guys have actual points about why your song's the best Van Halen.
Meaning we didn't.
Because it's
Well,
tattooed.
you guys had some of them.
How many people have
Okay, so
Wait
they're-
tattooed on their foot?
Okay, so
Or
they're-
Some people
anywhere
have
else?
disposable income.
So their point is just as disposable as
That was low.
anybody. Does anybody want to give me an actual reason why their
Number
ballad
one.
is good?
I'll say it again.
Here we go.
#1 song, #1 album, and
I'm gonna become a judge. I'm gonna caution you guys against using the number one.
All right.
Because it was the number one song because back
was
in that
number-
time,
it was-
you put a
I
song on the radio
object,
and
Your Honor.
everybody jumped on it and MTV played the fucking video.
it was #5 on the Billboard Top 100 hits. And it's a song that they play. Well, I shouldn't say they. Van Halen always played. Sammy still sings because it is an awesome song.
Wait a minute, what song is this again?
To this day, he still plays
What
When
album?
It's Love.
When it's love.
When It's Love, okay.
Yeah.
812. BB.
See, I forgot about it already.
And don't forget in the
Or
song
Jet.
where they're all singing, nah, nah, they're all singing together like a
I
family.
felt like I was in church
Like
when
a
that came on.
family.
It's like
I just felt like I was in church.
It's like a fucking
Bottom
Coke
line.
commercial.
It's a ballad. You're supposed to feel like that.
Exactly.
I don't want to be in church. I want to drink.
They're singing
see?
like a family, like they love each other.
That's a song where you go and take a piss when it's on.
Yes.
That's awful.
Taking a piss?
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
It just so
During that
happens that
song.
it's during that song.
Okay.
I'm sure it was many people's wedding songs. How many people had "Oh Wait" as their wedding song? 0.
I will.
BC's gonna.
That's more of a like a going to jail song. Like, oh wait.
Oh wait. I'll be true till you get out.
Okay.
But
Anybody?
BB, what do you have? Since I keep going on.
I just say I let you run. You took the
it's
ball
my
and ran
song.
with. That's your song. That's your tattoo. That
Because he agrees with us. That's why he's not saying anything.
When It's Love is great. So it's just a great ballad.
Keyword there, Bill. I mean,
I just have to say this question was unfair to me and BC.
No, it wasn't. If you guys came up with like good responses,
but
I
there's no ballads in Van Halen. Seriously,
So
back
you have
in the
to argue
70s,
why that's a
there was
good
no
ballad.
because back in the 70s it was about rock and roll. It wasn't about hey, let's get it on the radio.
And this sums it up.
Seriously,
At that point, Van Halen did not need ballads.
Did they not need radio?
No, they needed everyone else's covers. That's what they needed.
On that note,
That one hurts.
we'll end this category. I have to say I'm a little disappointed on both sides of the table here.
So the point goes to Van Halen. With Dave.
Well, obviously.
It is Van Halen. Whether it's Van Halen or Van Hagar, it's still Van Halen.
Boy, I love how we're not letting me talk.
We may have to cut off
Let the
BC.
moderator.
Okay.
Come on, BC.
Let the whole monitor talk. Okay. I'm definitely advising caution about using the charts because you guys have made that point several times already, and it's effective, but like it gets less effective every time you
But
use
that's
it.
unfair for you to warn them of that.
I like that you're like the kid that's like, well, teacher, he didn't ask it in the form of a question.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Well, hey, if you're in Jeopardy, you don't get score points for that shit.
You guys didn't make any points about why the song is like a good like ballad. You were just like, oh well, it's a.
Because there is no balance.
I mean, you had the solo. That was like the one point I could.
And that's
take
what I
and run
said.
with.
It was an unfair category.
Yeah, because
You guys,
there's 50 ballads compared to
you guys had Van
3.
Halen 1. Okay, I have to give
As
it to
the
Van.
what? As
I
the
think
best
it's-
album? Because it is.
I have to give it to Van Hagar because they
We all
argued.
knew.
They slightly argued it better.
And I
'Cause
will
it's
actually,
tattooed.
I
Because
will,
it's tattooed. End of story.
I will concede that category to them.
Yeah.
Not the song. I mean, I personally
Well,
would have
thank you.
picked "Love Walks In"
I also
other
would've
than that
picked-
song,
I
but
also
I
would've picked Love
I
Walks
could
In.
see why
They're
they
saying
picked
they don't
that.
like your tattoo.
Yeah.
You guys should've
I was
picked-
just gonna say I could see why they picked that because of Jen's tattoo.
Well,
I feel like you
I
guys
could
should
see
have picked
that.
Jump.
But
You could have
why?
argued Jump. Jump's kind of a ballad.
Ugh.
There's no.
I would have
balance
accepted
with
Jump.
Van Halen. That's a hard category. That
All right,
was
do
hard.
over.
You know what?
I-
Dylan
go over.
did his
We-
homework more than we did.
We picked Jump.
Yeah, really.
We picked Jump. Go
It's
ahead.
too late. It's
It's
now
over.
Hagar 3, Roth 2.
Ding,
It's
ding,
still anybody's game, though. When we go into our next category, which is something that I feel like you guys will feel good about arguing, it's best live album. Okay, so each band only had one live album each, so we will start with the Hagar side.
So our live album is Live Right Here, Right Now. All right. Let's see. You know what I like to do? I'm going to start throwing. Let's see what songs Sammy does on here that were Dave's. So, Ain't Talking About Love, Panama, Jump. Now, have you guys ever listened to this live album?
Yes,
Okay. Because
unfortunately.
Ain't Talking About Love and Panama, sung by Sammy, blows Dave's doors off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What did I want?
Oh.
I just want everybody to know we just took a break and we're coming back from it. And BB and Jen went out and they smoked a bowl of crack. And
Down by
they
the river.
are
Down by the
they're
river.
back. They're back from that.
Okay,
And
let them make the.
so I just want to let everybody know. So when you listen to this, you understand why they're saying what they're saying.
Well, let them finish the.
I'm
Let them
sorry.
finish the opening
Panama?
remarks here. Go ahead, BB.
Yeah, they do Ain't Talking About Love, they do Panama, they do Jump. But
Also,
You really got me now.
Now,
no.
right now.
Oh yeah.
You really got me.
Right. Well, that's another cover. Anybody can sing that.
Well, that's true.
You know. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. But Ain't Talking About Love and Panama, sung on the live album, is really, really good.
It is
And I and I think Sammy's vocals bring another level to the song. How good their songs are. Not saying that Dave sings it bad, but he kind of does. But
Shit.
Really?
but Sammy's vocals on Dave's songs are better than even the actual studio albums.
How about the David Lee Roth side arguing for Live at the Tokyo Dome?
BC, do you want me to start? Do you want to start? What do you want to do here?
You start.
All right, we may have to edit a lot of this stuff out because it may go a while.
Let's go to kid.
I'm just looking at this song-wise. I'll look at it first. You cannot beat the classic amount of songs that are on the Van Halen Tokyo Dome live in concert compared to Live Right Here, Right Now. Now, number one, production-wise, Live Right Here, Right Now sounds fucking terrible compared to Live Tokyo Dome, in my opinion. I understand the Sammy one was recorded in 1993. The Dave one was recorded in 2015. You know, leaps and bounds in production stuff. But just the sheer volume of kick-ass Van Halen songs. And I realize the
Classic
Sammy people, you know,
foundation
why can't this be love and blah, you know, all the, you know, you can't fill a thing full with ballads. And I honestly, I listened to both of these albums within the last week. There are so many more lackluster songs on Live Right Here, Right Now than there are on the Tokyo Dome. Pound Cake is good. Judgment Day is good. When It's Love, we discussed that before. Spanked is a mid-tempo spank fest, if you will. Okay, Ain't Talking About Love. Hey, it's a Dave song. It's awesome. In and Out is actually one of my favorite Sammy songs from Van Halen. Dreams, there's another hit for you. Play the hits. Man on a Mission is a boring ass song. And the bass solo's next. Pleasure Dome, another boring song. Drum solo during it. Panama's not bad. Love Walks In, another hit. Runaround was cool. Right Now, Usual, blah.
Are you gonna go through every song?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through every song, but I'm just going to go through the next couple. Right Now, to me, the best song on Live Right Here, Right Now, is not even... And these guys are busting our balls so much on fucking cover songs. What's the next song they do that is the best song on the album? There's Only One Way to Rock. That is a Sammy song. It's a cover. I'm sorry, people. It's not a fucking Van Halen song. And that song is fucking great. It is the best song on there, the best sounding song on there.
He can cover his own stuff.
But he's not in it. He's Van Halen. Sammy Hagar song is not a Van Halen song. I'm sorry. You busted our Van Halen balls about cover songs. That's a cover song. And he does Give to Live also, which is a cover song that he recorded because he owed money to his fucking ex-wife on his solo album. And I see Jen smirking over there because she's like, yeah, I know that. And then they do Won't Get Fooled Again. You really got me. Oh my God, Van Halen did a fucking cover song. Oh my God. Sammy sang another cover song. So I'm just throwing that out there. You bust our balls on cover songs. They're peppered throughout the set there.
I still say only one. I'll give you really got me. But when you're covering your own, when you're singing your own songs, it's not a cover song.
It is. You're in Van Halen. You're playing a Sammy Hagar song.
In Van Halen, yeah.
He's the only one that sang on that song.
I'm going to say it's a cover song because like when Night Ranger does Damien Yankee song, it's kind of the same
That's right.
thing.
They do
So I will allow
high
that.
enough, and they do...
But it's not full of
Coming to
ballads, as you said. There's a couple. It's not full of ballads.
I said they're peppered. I said they're peppered throughout the set.
Compared to classics.
Okay, but
look at the songs
Sammy
that are in...
can actually sing Dave's stuff. Dave cannot sing Sammy stuff.
But I want to tell you, when you go to see Van Halen, and Dave is there, you're not going to a show to see Van Halen and say, "Boy, I hope Dave fucking sings good tonight." You're not saying that. You're going. David Lee Roth is there. David Lee Roth is Van Halen.
No, I'm
David
sorry.
Lee Roth is. Oh my God! Like here's David Lee Roth singing.
Let's get back to the live
Eddie
album.
is
Why
Van Halen.
why is your live album better than their live album?
Because Dave performs the Van Halen songs as they should be performed. David Lee Roth songs on albums are, for the most part, performed. David Lee Roth is a performer. Those songs are performed.
Drake every time he says performed.
We can't watch him perform, though, on an album. We're listening.
So you're arguing no visual element.
Yeah, you're saying
brings it back
perform, but we're not seeing him perform shit when you're
live.
listening.
Oh, when you're live.
But you have
We're
more of
talking
a,
about an album. So
but you
we're
have
talking
more
about
of.
a
I'll
single.
tell you what though, and I have a perfect answer for that. You have a more visual in your head of David Lee Roth singing, say, "Hot for Teacher." Can you picture Sammy Hagar singing "Hot for Teacher"? No, that's why they don't do it.
Because it's terrible.
What's terrible? Hot for Teacher's terrible?
Oh.
Are you
You said it's
fucking
terrible.
kidding
I'm
me?
gonna say that's a negative on that one.
Are you fucking
That's all
kidding
those
me?
fucking eyes, baby. Come on.
Oh my God!
Maybe I didn't really mean it, but it's another
was
song
in the
that's
heat of the moment.
overplayed.
It's out there. It's on tape.
I will agree.
Well,
he's overplayed.
here's one thing. The Tokyo album, you guys have 7 albums to pick from. When Van Hagar released theirs, they only had 3 albums. So their selection is a little bit different. And it's a little bit more, not as many songs, too.
Well, I mean, it's a tour album. It's a tour album. They're gonna key on the album that's out at the time. That's
But you guys just
perfectly
said
understandable.
that Sammy could do Dave better than Dave.
So why don't they do
you
more
should
Dave?
Be able to do all the Dave songs. You know what I mean?
Why should he have to? He's got his own songs that are way better.
So what about closing remarks?
In 2015,
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
in
ahead.
2015, we all went to see Van Halen. David Lee Roth, his voice was crap.
And I'm
Total
gonna-
crap.
I'll stop you there because again, we're talking about live albums.
Oh, sorry,
We
yeah.
will get to performances in another topic.
Well, his
but-
voice.
Okay. So anybody else have any closing thoughts on their album?
Well, you know,
Van Halen
you can't
classics.
take away from the '70s Van Halen music. You
can't.
You know, like when they did live right here, right now. You know, you have to keep the people happy because you know you want to actually hear the Van Halen songs.
I wanna hear
when you
Panama.
throw Panama in there,
For
and you
real.
throw in talking
I wanna
about
hear
love,
Panama.
like I would love to for Steve post Ain't Talking About Love, Sammy from Right Here, Right Now. Or I believe they also do it on Live Without a Net. And post the video of Dave, and Dave has several videos out there of singing live. He forgets half the words.
It's not
Like-
that he forgets he can't sing them, so he stops.
Because and I'm going to be totally honest, I'm not very familiar with the Tokyo because I listened to it maybe once or twice, and I thought the sound out of it was horrible. Like you guys said, it was produced
sounded great.
I thought it sounded horrible.
Me too.
But put those since that song is on your album and that song's on our album,
Put them
put
together.
them side by side, and I
We can do that.
guarantee
We can do that.
Sammy,
We can do that.
Sammy's version and the way they performed it is even better than. And that was in '93. So everybody's older, so they're a little bit
We can do
slower.
that. But I'm going to say I don't think that your result is going to be any different because, you know, and this is all subjective. If you like Sammy, you're going to go for the Sammy stuff. If you like Dave, you're going to go for this Dave stuff. And like I said before, Dave is not out there. Like I said, you're not going to go, I hope David Lee Roth sings these songs great tonight. No. You're there to see David Lee Roth perform the songs. You go to see Sammy, he's there singing the songs. It's totally different.
But we're listening, we're not watching.
So we're going
I know,
with best
but
live
I'll
album
tell you what
instead
though,
of best
when
live
you
performer.
listen to a Dave live, and you listen to a Sammy live, you are picturing David Lee Roth singing these songs, jumping around, being Dave, and I don't
Falling
have
off the
that
stage
visual.
and busting his nose.
Rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off there.
Okay.
Because you're delving into like live performances, and we will get into each person's performance live in another topic. Okay, so a lot of good points made on this topic. The non-visual component, I think, definitely was a huge one. That you're listening and you want a singer, you don't want a performer when it's just the audio only. You know, you made the point about like the production value, like the years, and like that was the point that, you know, you used as your defense, and then you're like, oh well, you kind of reversed that on this one, and that was a little weird. But I think I have to give it again to the Van Hagar, because I feel like the points that they made about
How much money did they give you?
they didn't give me any money. Their argument about how Sammy is.
Where did you get that money
And
from?
honestly, I think Dave sounds terrible on Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
I think he sounds
does.
horrible.
Thank you.
Like it's like you listen to "Hot for Teacher," the song that Jen hates for no reason, and like he barely
like-
sings it.
That's that crack kicking
It's
in.
like
I don't really
he's
hate
like,
it.
"Teacher, don't you uptown fool?" Like every other word he skips.
Because he can't sing
And
it anymore.
I just like I think Sammy performs the songs better.
But I gotta say, as Dave fans, we expect that, but we can
like-
visualize Dave more than we listen to Dave. What do you think, BC?
it's not a
Dave
book.
is more
it's
visual.
an album.
But
We
you hear
vis-
someone.
The Sammy fans did visualize Dave spinning his mic stand and hitting himself on the bridge of his
Exactly.
nose. That's what we
Hey, that's live
visualized.
TV,
was a-
bitches.
When I
Okay.
get an MRI, they put me in the tube.
Is
And
that what
Van
you
Halen's
visualize?
on, I envision Dave. I don't envision Sammy.
Because you like it
Okay,
better.
well,
No, but it's just that he's that much more visual.
the point goes
Nothing
to,
against Sammy. But
to Van Hagar. It's now 4-2. Before we go any
who bought you
further,
this
we'll
tube?
let
Who
the
bought you this tube?
I did.
I doubt it.
I can give him
we'll
a ride
let
home later.
we'll let the David Lee Roth guys collect themselves, and we're gonna go into hidden gems. Is that correct?
That will work.
Okay, hidden gems. Do you want to lead us off there, actual host of the podcast?
I will lead us off. I don't think BC is as prepared as I am, so I will go first.
Throwing his OT bit under the
I
bus.
know. How's the view from down there, BC?
I agree.
My hidden gem of the week. We're all picking something. Our team has to pick something Sammy Hagar each. and the Hagar people have to pick something David Lee Roth. So it could be a song, it could be an album, it could be a band. And my pick is going to be HSAS, Hagar, Schoen, Aronson, and Shreve. It's an album. It came out in 1983, and it's Neil Schoen from Journey fame, which is, and if there's an underrated guitar player out there, Neil Schoen is like in the top probably 3. This guy just like kicks total ass. Kenny Aronson, who is the drummer, he is a friggin' awesome drum player. And the album is no, I'm sorry, he's the bass player. I'm like, I have my head up my ass here. Drummer is Michael Shreve, bassist is Kenny Aronson. I was looking at my notes wrong here, and it had Denny Carmisi there. He's one of the guys from Sammy's band. The album is Through the Fire, and it was apparently like mostly recorded live. I looked for it on Amazon Music. I looked for it on Apple Music also, and it is not to be found. Your best bet is to go onto eBay and check it out. Great band. They do a version of Whiter Shade of Pale, which, you know, here's Sammy again doing another fucking ballad. You know, and that's like one of the songs on there that I skip, actually.
Let's keep
I'm
it
sorry.
civil and
I know.
Armistice.
It is a great album. It's a great rock album. They have a song called Valley of the Kings on there. It is just a fantastic album. That came out, and I was like, whoa, like really, really cool. So if you can find that, check it out. HSAS, that's me. All right, we're gonna go back across the table. We're gonna hit BB up.
Okay. My hidden gem is a song from David Lee Roth's Little Ain't Enough. It is called Lady Luck.
Lady Luck.
And it took me a while. It took me a while to find a hidden gem from Dave's solo albums, because after Eat 'Em and Smile, it seems like the songs just got worse and worse.
What did I say about the Armistice?
Disagree.
Keeping it civil.
Disagree.
You'll have your chance to argue that later.
Okay. But there was a young guitarist that played
great.
with Dave's band, Jason Becker, and I found out a week after the album was finished, he ended up with Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yep.
He had to leave the band, but my hidden gem, Lady Luck, Little Ain't Enough album. Check it out.
That is a great Dave album, Little Ain't Enough. Actually, BC and I went to see that tour up in Binghamton, New York. They played up there. Fantastic band. Joe Holmes, that was in Ozzy's band. And he's the leader in a band called Farmer Coast now. He was a guitar player for that tour once Jason Becker, I won't say contracted ALS, but great guy. He's actually still making music right now. Someone that's got Lou Gehrig's disease. I mean, you gotta feel for this guy, but he's still making music. This guy, he's great. They do the thing with the keyboard where they look at the letters and stuff like that. And apparently this guy is still making music. And you really feel for anybody that has any kind of disease, especially Lou Gehrig's disease. I mean, that like just totally like wipes your life right out. And it's a horrible, horrible disease. But and he has a video out. It's called Jason Becker Not Dead Yet. You guys, seriously, look for that. It might be on iTunes, maybe not iTunes, on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. It's out there. It's it's very inspirational. It shows how his family takes care of him and everything. And great guy. And back to BB's song, Lady Luck. Lady Luck is a fantastic song. Pick up David Lee Roth, A Little Ain't Enough. Really, really great, underrated album. BC, what do you got? Did you gather yourself over there?
I gathered myself, people. Sammy Hagar, Trans Am. We're going deep.
That's deep. That's way back.
Way before my time.
Way before your time, kid. But that's my hidden deep down in gem.
Check it out.
Check it out.
You can see BC was really prepared for this part of the show.
When did you check it out? Like right now?
Maybe he smoked a little crack with Jen and BB.
He was not down by
That must have been when I was in the bathroom. But that is a good pick, though. That is a real good pick. Trans Am, Sammy Hagar. Check it out, guys. Jen,
early
what's up?
Sammy Hagar, people.
Well, it's really hard for me to pick David Lee Roth's song because I'll be honest, I don't know most of his stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not up on all this stuff.
And that's your loss.
We appreciate the honesty.
It is my loss, but
points for honesty.
The songs that I do know are all the popular songs. So my hidden
Play the hits.
gem, my hidden gem is Me Wise Magic. It was written and recorded for the Best of Volume 1 album because it was in 1996 because Eddie realized that Humans Being was the only new track. So David, obviously, he wanted to show up Sammy, which didn't happen.
Hey, they called him.
Yeah, Eddie did call him. So he came out with Me Wise Magic, which I actually really like this song, and it did become a #1 hit, but I think that a lot of people don't maybe know it because it's not on any of David's albums. It's on a best of.
And also, You Can't Get This Stuff No More is also another track that they recorded on that best of from David Lee Roth. They apparently had a lot of angst over that when they were recording that. Dave and Alex and Eddie were, I don't know, down in the basement or in a different part of the building, recording. If you see the old picture of Van Halen recording, not even recording, it was probably a practice picture, shows them in this room with all the drums and beer cans and shit all over the place. I could picture that's what it looked like, but apparently when Dave was recording the vocals for that, he got this big room and he had all these palm trees and shit set up, and it was like fucking David Lee Roth land up there, and like it was just a big party up there, and just to record vocals for 2 songs. And that's what we're trying to get through on our Dave side here, that the party element of Dave. That's what we're trying to get through.
When you hear
Jane
Van
had an
Halen,
awesome pick. Me Wise Magic is a fucking great song.
Exactly.
We will post it.
But when you hear a Van Halen song with David Lee Roth, you want to drink beer and have fun.
He set up palm trees to be like Cabo Wabo.
Okay. Okay, everybody.
Negative.
Wow. Save it for the
Negative Ghost Rider. The
debate.
pattern's full.
Save it for the debate. Speaking of which, I think it's the perfect time to get back into it because I can see everybody's ready to get at each other's throats.
Let's
here.
go. Bring it on.
The next topic up for debate. It's something that BB will try to get into a little earlier. It's a best music video from your artist. Okay, so I believe the Van Hagar side went first last time. I think I actually have that right this time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let the David Lee Roth side go first. Best music video.
Hot for Teacher.
Hot for Teacher, off of 1984.
1984.
If you could, for the viewers, describe, or the listeners, see, because they're not viewing, describe the album. Or not the album. Describe the music video.
Oh, the video starts off going like high school, which back in 1984.
Starts off with Waldo.
Waldo, yeah.
Waldo. Oh, Mom, I'm not like the other guys. And you can hear him. She smooths his hair, and it's like, whoosh, whoosh, And
anybody who was a kid back in those days,
there was always a Waldo.
There was always a Waldo.
BC, you were Waldo, weren't you?
I was Waldo one time.
That's why I picked it.
That's why I picked this song. In the video. But it's just the video is so fun. It's just so carefree.
It is. It shows the fun of Van Halen. The kid gets on the bus and you see Dave. He's the bus driver. Sit down, Waldo. And the kids are going crazy in the bus.
Then you get to the school,
and then everybody stops.
Yep. And then you get to the school and they got like little Van Halen.
Little Van Halen kids. And
to me, that I'd be on my deathbed and that video will be in my mind.
It is. It's a fun video. Once we get into the discussion, I have a couple other points I'd like to bring about that. So let's hear what the Hagar people have to say.
Okay, Van Hagar, what do you got?
All right, our best video is Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Amsterdam. That's off of what album?
That is off the Balance album.
Balance.
It is recorded in Amsterdam.
Appropriate.
It shows the band walking up and down the streets of Amsterdam going.
What country is that in?
The Netherlands?
I'm just asking.
I think.
Do you know?
I'm just asking.
I think in the Netherlands, that's where the Van Halen brothers were born. So they kind of go back to their homeland, and the video goes. They walk up and down the streets. They go to one of the popular marijuana coffee shops called the Bulldog. And they go in there, have some coffee, and have some medical marijuana for their ailments of
glaucoma.
Their glaucoma. Eddie in his hip, Alex in his neck. Really? And then it shows them walking down different alleyways. Eddie getting a tattoo. Tattoo of the new VH logo with the longer swooshes around the side. And he puts Wolfgang on top of it. Then they go down some more, and they go to the red light district. They see some nice.
Working girls
trying to make a living in the windows, and they patronize them and give them some money. So it's as you guys like to keep saying that the Van Halen Roth era is all about partying and having a good time. We pulled this video because it shows that the Hagar side can also party and have a good time.
Clearly.
Okay, so we have Amsterdam versus Hot for Teacher.
Okay, I gotta say, I really thought you guys were gonna pick something like really cool, or like if you guys said we picked Dreams and it shows the Navy Blue Angels, I'd be like, man, that is like just fucking great. You know, shows
You're
are
obsessed with the Navy Blue Angels.
Huh? Well, because that's what the video is. I mean, you know, these guys. You know, I'll salute to all of our servicemen out there that are keeping our great country and the world safe. Like really, like the Van Halen with Sammy Hagar party video was they're drinking fucking coffee in Amsterdam. Like really. Like, woo! I mean, come on. You know, you have, David Lee Roth, they have songs like Take Your Whiskey Home and Bottoms Up, but now they're drinking fucking coffee. Like, really? Come on, really?
They're getting tattoos.
Huh? Oh, ooh, not tattoos. They're painful. You know, nothing against tattoos or nothing like that. That was just this, I just said it because of
that. Tattoo.
But now, as this video is described, they're going to these sex places and stuff like that. When David Lee Roth was in Van Halen, they didn't need to pay for pussy. They just went out and got it. They're not going to Amsterdam because it's, whatever.
Thrown at them with David Lee Roth.
They didn't have to even work for it then.
So is that actually documented?
Yes, it was.
It was. Okay. I'll tell you what. Read the book. Read the book. Van Halen's tour manager just wrote a book, and I mentioned it in one of our other episodes. Of how shit was with Van Halen. I mean, these guys were partying and banging everything, that was out there.
About your music video.
I'm sorry, about the music video. I mean,
partying and banging. Isn't that what my video's about? I mean, ours.
But they're paying for it, though, in your video.
They gotta pay for it there.
So they're still banging and partying.
Why is Hot for Teacher the best?
Because Hot for Teacher is a fun video. It shows, like the little Van Halen kids. They have these... It was a great casting thing in that video.
There's not one person can't relate to that video because of going to school at that time. I
mean, it's actually then when we were watching that video, you were thinking, I'm going by when BCI and actually BB were in school, there were very, very few hot teachers in school.
Oh, God, yeah.
Let's not mention any names.
We're not mentioning any names now.
Teachers.
No, we're not.
Just in case.
We're not going to get into that. But there were very few hot teachers in school. So we could relate to that. Like, oh, my God, like, there's an actual hot teacher.
Like,
and it shows the kids, and they're like, you'd be like, wow, like, wouldn't it be so cool to have a hot teacher? But, like, I mean, unfortunately, times have changed. That's all I will say about that. But like, it was a fun video. Like, it shows the Dave picks up the kids in the car and he gives his little Dave a high five in the back. And actually, the kid that plays Michael Anthony in that video, if anybody has seen the movie and who has not seen the movie Christmas Story, when little Ralphie gets his ass kicked by the I don't know, Butch or whatever the kid's name was. Was it Butch? I don't know. Whatever the
Sid Farkas.
Sid Farkas, yeah, the Sid Farkas affair. That's right. When he's getting his ass kicked by Sid Farkas, the little kid that was his friend, I'm telling my dad, the kid that he pushes down. That's the same kid that's Michael Anthony in that video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So. But like
fun facts with Steve.
Yeah. So you have these. See that? It's usually fun facts with Dylan. And like just the video itself, like it shows Eddie doing the video, walking down the tables with all the papers on and shit. That was just like so cool. Like compared to Amsterdam, like it's just not as fun. Hot teachers are much more fun than fucking coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Okay, Van Hagar people.
Well, number one. I'm not going to say it's the number one song because it's not, but if you don't tell me I'm not allowed to.
Gin and Jar's a good cup of coffee.
No, I hate coffee.
Nobody's told me.
It's showing their country of origin, where Eddie and Alex came from. They are the staple of Van Halen. Let's see a little bit about where they're from. And the video is really showing Sammy's view as a tourist of Alex and Eddie's home country. So You're talking about the staple of where the two founding people of the band came from over frickin' students in class. That's boring.
BB, any?
No, all I could think of when you guys are going back and forth is all I could think of is that that kid that was hot for his teacher, and he actually ended up in jail. So let me think. If I want to be hot for my
ended up
teacher,
in jail?
There was no cops.
There were
In real life?
Yeah.
No, there are cases of that happening.
So.
And also, we here at Potter Than Hell do not condone objectifying women. Just want to throw
We
that
do
out
not.
there.
If being in jail compared to going to Amsterdam and doing
Yeah,
those
but you're
things
talking
legally,
about current affairs compared to video. I mean, we're talking about the video here.
that's what I just said. I said, do you want to be hot for a teacher and be getting in trouble like that kid did? I want to go to Amsterdam where it's all legal. I won't be in trouble.
Prostitute.
Nice try.
Okay.
Nice try.
Okay. And
He was smoking too much Panama Red.
Oh my God.
Like Panama Red.
The fucking crack is really kicking in.
Is there any closing thoughts on this?
I don't think there needs to be any more discussion on it.
No,
I'm just
I
gonna say
agree.
watch Amsterdam and watch Hot for Teacher.
Well,
watch them in
why don't you-
any order you want. And
Well,
just,
you're gonna post them on the Facebook.
I'm gonna
right?
post them.
Okay. Okay, so I'll end the debate here. Jesus, where did that conversation go? What was that? Yeah, you made some good points about the country of origin and stuff like that, but I mean, they kind of had it with the fun of the video, and they really emphasized that. And the fun facts with Steve was interesting, but I think that concept wise, theirs had a little more going for it than Amsterdam. Although it's an interesting premise. It's seeing a band tour around a city is not as exciting as this fantasy, overblown, spectacular. I think at one point they're in white suits and tails, and they're
doing the dance.
Yeah. So I have to give it to the Dave Lee Roth guys.
And they tie up the ball game, people.
No, it's
we're
still 4-3.
still
It's
up
4-3.
Oh, really?
4-3.
They didn't come to hit that last.
Wait to
No, they played the
jump
hits. I
gun.
forgot. I'm sorry.
It's all about the hits.
Okay, so that was best music video for the debate topic. The next topic. What is the best song ever from your version of Van Halen? What is the epitome of your singers, what they brought to the table? If you were to pick the song that defines Van Halen with your singer in it, what song would that be? And we're going to start off with the Van Hagar people. What's the best Van Hagar song ever?
They're going to give us a problem because we picked a song that is not on the popular side of Van Halen.
And see, I'm shocked that they have been giving you problems on that because that is so hypocritical. He's like, oh, the hits. Oh, I hate when they play the hits live. Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
So the song we picked is from Balance.
Okay.
It is called Take Me Back.
Take Me Back.
Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
It starts off acoustically. It shows Sammy's vocals. It gets a little heavier towards the middle. And once again, all four singers in the harmony are singing together.
As a happy family.
As a happy family. Then it comes back down to more acoustic, and it finishes. It's like a roller coaster ride, and it finishes heavy.
Okay.
So you're hearing both levels of Sammy's voice. Slow, hard, and Eddie also. Acoustic,
He goes from
heavy.
acoustic to his
awesome.
regular PV guitar.
Roth guys, do you need to
Okay.
call a timeout?
We do not need to call a timeout.
Okay, so what song do you have?
What we are going to do right now is we have two songs picked and we could not decide on them. So I am actually going to flip a coin.
How about I'll flip the coin so that it's...
All right, you can flip the coin. Here's the coin back.
Yeah, what's number one, or heads or tails?
Okay, so we have two songs picked. We have Somebody Get Me a Doctor.
Okay.
That's
Off
going to
of-
be
off of what
tails.
album?
And we have Atomic Punk, which is going to be heads.
Okay. It is heads, so Atomic Punk from
So
Van
Atomic
Halen
Punk
1.
it is. Okay,
What did I say about banging the table?
Atomic Punk
playing the drums.
starts out with the scratching of the guitar. Like, when you first... I'm sorry, you're going to have to edit that out. That's horrible. When you first hear that, you're like, what is that? Like, what is that? And then it, kicks in with the drums. And the song is... We don't want a roller coaster ride like our opposition. We want to be shot out of the fucking gun and just keep going. We don't want to have the slowness going up the hill and then come down, where they said it got a little heavier. But like our song, like right off the bat, it's bang. Like you get that sound, kind of like Running with the Devil. You get that in the beginning. You're like, what is that? And in the beginning of Atomic Punk, you get, what is that? And then it kicks in, and it's just a great song. And I think it's one of the songs that is the epitome of Van Halen.
Okay. I want to say that I appreciate you arguing the actual question. I appreciate that. Okay, BB, I saw you writing some stuff.
So heavy, when you said heavier is better. So is heavier better?
I think so.
Okay.
We think so, right?
Your opinion.
What do you think, BC?
Right.
I like that this is like a cross-examination.
Yeah.
No, you said in your opening.
You said in your opening statement, you said heavier is better.
Paraphrasing again.
Okay. So we have Atomic Punk versus Take Me Back Deja Vu. Fight it out.
See, we picked that song because there's almost all the band members singing, all the band members playing. It goes acoustically. It goes heavier with his guitar. It's a whole.
It's showing a wide variety of
what they
they're
can
able
do
to do
in one song.
It's not another Jenn tattoo, is it?
Not just.
I don't need to take anyone back. No.
Okay, so why is Atomic Punk the kind of quintessential song for David Lee Roth Van Halen? Why is it like the?
It's the first album. It's just.
Speaking of the
Speaking
microphone.
of the-
I'm sorry. It's off the first album. It's just classic. It's that classic that set the tone for Van Halen song. I mean,
I'm shocked by your two choices.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Really?
I do like Atomic Punk, though, better than the other one.
See? But even if we went with
It's
the other song,
not
there's
better than Take Me Back.
still many things.
So
we
why
will
is it- why is it-
we oppose both songs.
Why is it not better than Take Me Back in your opinion?
Just for the reasons that I said. Take Me Back is, a wide variety of what they all can do. Acoustic, heavier, all singing together. Sammy is slow, he's fast. Dave can't do that.
Atomic Punk. Why is that better than Take Me Back Deja Vu?
Because Atomic Punk is just kick-ass song. It's fast. It has a different sound to it. And it's just talking about just like rocking out. It's great. There's no roller coaster ride of things. It's not fucking Freebird where you start out slow and rock out in the end. It's not that type of song. It's just an in-your-face song that just totally grabs you by the short hairs and drags you along for a quick ride.
A roller coaster ride, you don't want to be on.
I love roller coasters.
But this is more of a roller coaster song that they have now, where you start and they fucking shoot you out instead of taking you up that hill. It just shoots
Everyone
you
likes
out in the beginning.
hill because then you get to see what's next.
I don't like. I'm not saying I don't. I'm sorry. I don't not like the hill, but you just like to be shot out of a gun sometimes.
Final thoughts on best song from your band? No? Okay. Well, first off, the answer is I'm the one for obvious reasons. It has all the ranges of the Dave band. It has the fun with the doo-wop part. It has the shredding guitar solo. It has all that. I don't know why you didn't pick that. Come on. Atomic Punk is a good song. I feel like the Hagar people made a great point about the range of the song. It showed how the different facets of Van Hagar. Whereas, Atomic Punk just had the one speed and it I don't appreciate that.
Panama's my favorite Dave song.
Panama would have been a good pick too, but I have to go with
And that's why I
with
said
Van
I was
Hagar.
shocked.
They won me over with that. They're debating really well.
Have you ever heard that song?
No, but they sold me over. They sold me on it. That's
He's
why-
going to go home and listen to it,
Yes,
and he's going to be like, yes.
They sold me on it. That's how good their
I can
argument
sell you
was.
on chicken
I'm
from
throwing a
Chester's
flag
like that.
again.
I think
I
it's
think we
better
got-
that he's never heard it.
I think we got Holy on that
I
one.
hey, they're
Actually.
But when he hears it, he's gonna go, "Man, I should have picked Atomic Punk."
it's the quality of the argument, and theirs was good. Okay, so next, you might have better luck on this next category. The next category showcases each singer in their element, best solo artist. So who's better, David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar. And if you want to throw out some key tracks, you could do that. If you want to, cite different reasons, you can. It's all up to you. And I believe we are going to be starting with I can't remember which one now. I lost my train of thought. Who went first last time? I think it was it Van Hagar?
I think it was.
I think it was Van Hagar. Okay, so Roth. Why is David Lee Roth a better solo artist?
David Lee Roth is a better solo artist, and I will say artist, not singer.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's clarify.
Here we go.
Okay. I do.
This is the
I do
roller coaster.
concede that Sammy is a better singer, and I'm holding up quotations in the air, than Dave. I agree with that. But Dave is a better entertainer. His songs are more fun than Sammy. When I listen to music, I want to have fun. Like BC said, you hear Van Halen, you want to crack a beer. I hear David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile. Eat 'Em and Smile was the first CD that I ever bought.
Makes you forget about your problems for today. Throw it on.
Right.
Just takes you away.
And that's what music should do. I'm not saying Sammy does not do that, but David Lee Roth does that more for me than Sammy Hagar does not do that more for me. I'm sorry. David Lee Roth does that
You're
more for me.
wondering why they're winning right now?
That's the Corona lights talking right there. And we've been at this a while.
He was down by the
Like
river.
David Lee Roth, he has that feeling of
down by the river.
he has that feeling of fun around him. His songs are fun. There's no, for the most part, no sappy love songs and stuff like that. And, I don't want to sing about love songs and shit. I really don't. Or listen to them. His songs are cool. They're fun. Yankee Rose, great song. Just Like Paradise. Ladies Night in Buffalo. Tobacco Road. Even though yes, people, it is another cover. I know
She's
they're
My
hammering
Machine.
us on that. She's My Machine. Your Filthy Little Mouth. Listen to that song. Listen to a song called Land's Edge.
Everybody's got the monkey. I mean, it's just...
Dave just has a ton of fun songs. He's a
Lose
fun
the
guy.
dress. That's a
Lose the
classic. Dave.
lose the dress, keep the shoes.
Yeah, keep the shoes.
Okay.
Take the dress off, leave the shoes on.
And like Dave says, I like the way the line runs up the back of the stockings.
Exactly.
What's more fun than that?
Okay,
Nothing.
so that's a good opening statement.
Even though that's not solo.
Sammy Hagar, people. Why is Sammy better than Davey?
I'm going to say.
She's chomping at the.
I have
she's
Sammy
at the edge of her
tattooed on
seat,
me.
jumping into the
All
microphone.
right, Sammy Hagar solo, Cabo Wabo. Everyone wants to go to Cabo Wabo to see Sammy's
That's a Van Halen song.
to see Sammy's solo act. Well, now he's with the Circle, but to see him
Featuring Michael Anthony.
playing 80. Okay, so his birthday bash, 80,000 people signed up for tickets. 80,000 because Sammy by himself. He doesn't need Eddie. He doesn't need Alex.
He doesn't even.
Obviously, Michael Anthony and him
need Van
pair up
Halen.
really well with vocals. But 80,000 people want to see him because still he is an awesome performer. He is an awesome singer. He still has fun. They all have fun. And I think for that reason, he is much better than Dave. Where does Dave go and have concerts that people still want to go see? Just him. No, they want to see Dave and Eddie, because Eddie is the real person in the band here. He has to pick up where Dave, kind of misses out.
Well, these guys know, we've been saying this for years, that Sammy is better solo than Dave, and we've been saying that for years. I'm sure they're not going to admit to it, but I really did a really quick catalog check of Dave's stuff today when I went for my hidden gem. And after Eat 'Em and Smile, his albums are horrible. Horrible.
I can see my dad boiling.
Smirking. He's gonna smirk.
Like, there is not
he's
one.
turning red.
I was really, really disappointed. I can't believe, like,
That is an opinion.
First, he doesn't. He can't keep a band. He can't keep anybody in his band. Every album is different. The DRL band is different. He even had Johnny Five played with him for an album. He can't keep anybody. So I don't know if he's very hard to work with, or he wants to change it. His catalog is very disappointing for his solo career, in my opinion.
Now, I totally disagree with that. There is like a lot of quality stuff out there. As far as guys that he had playing with him, he had a lot of great guys playing with him. He didn't do a lot of tours. He toured for Eat 'Em and Smile. I'm talking major tours. For Skyscraper. And I'll tell you what, and you know me and Jen and BC Dylan, I've been to, I won't say thousands of concerts. I've been to probably hundreds of concerts. And David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile concert is always going to be in my top 3. It's always going to be in my top 3. For me, it comes down to live performance of what you have out there. I've seen Dave, I'm going to say probably 4 different times. I saw him for Eat 'Em and Smile. I saw him for Skyscraper. I saw him for, actually BC and I went for Little Ain't Enough. And then we saw him with which Jen and I totally disagree on, the tour with Sammy Hagar, where Sammy and Dave played. Like I said, I'm there for Dave. I love Dave. He's a great entertainer. He just brings out the partiness of the music. And believe me, and I'm not taking anything away from Sammy solo stuff. I think I've seen Sammy twice, outside of Van Halen. And I have to say, when we did see Van Halen with Sammy, BC and I, we left about halfway through the show.
That was with Van Halen.
Yeah, with Van Halen.
I thought we were doing solo.
We are. We are.
Okay.
We are. I'm just saying for the times that I've seen Sammy.
I'm just trying to help Mike.
I mean, Sammy.
Our side.
Sammy puts on a great show, and I love Sammy's solo stuff. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's the Red Rocker, but I'm always a Dave guy. Always a Dave guy. I can only speak for myself. I'm sure BC's got some thoughts on Dave that he's got going here. So we're at that. We're going to defend our guys.
Sammy last month with the Circle up in Niagara Falls. Awesome show.
Playing all Led Zeppelin shit.
No, it wasn't
not all Led Zeppelin. No, they play a pretty good mix of stuff.
Yeah, but he's still out there touring.
I agree.
Well, I agree with that too. And again, this is nothing against Sammy. I mean,
no.
I personally think Sammy's great. I love Sammy. But when it comes to Van Halen music...
We're not talking about Van Halen music.
Yeah, the topic is solo artists.
Were you down by the river?
I was just took a bathroom break while we were talking about this.
I was down by the river, goddammit. But solo, I mean, to me...
We saw Dave solo?
Solo. We saw both of them solo together in one night.
Yeah, right. That wasn't awesome.
That was an awesome night. Again, I love both.
And that's a matter of opinion because we thought, I can speak for myself, but I think BC is of the same mind.
That was back in 2002.
That Dave ruled the night, I thought.
I didn't think so.
He had the vibe. To me, it's the vibe. I know.
It is the vibe.
Sammy had his Wabaritas up on stage. He had people up on stage. They were bringing out
but he needed that extra shit.
Dave couldn't remember the lyrics.
Yeah, he did it because it's fun. You guys are talking about Dave being fun.
Dave never remembers the lyrics.
So his solo stuff is horrible then because he can't remember the lyrics.
Dave's entertaining.
Let's talk about the live show experience. Why is your artist's live show experience better than the others?
Why?
Yeah.
Crickets.
Why?
Because Sammy Hagar can actually sing. David Lee Roth, I'm sorry. He is a good performer, so you say. But so isn't Sammy. Throughout the whole concert last month, he was signing people's autographs and CDs.
During the show?
During the show. He was taking his time while he was singing to sign stuff for people. To make them happy. He is a good performer. Doesn't have to be just a showman because he is good.
Why is the live show experience?
See, and Jen gave us our point there. Dave was entertaining in the crowd. Dave, he puts out that party vibe. I mean, Sammy puts out a party vibe, but it's a different party vibe.
It's a different vibe.
And how no matter how it goes,
vibes are good.
Old VH guys are going to be for Dave, and newer VH guys are going to be for Sammy. And like we said, this is the reason we're doing this. We want everybody to interact with us. What do you guys think? Do you think Dave's a better performer live than Sammy? Do you think? I will say one thing. I'll give these guys. Sammy's definitely a better guitar player than Dave.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about? I want to say, what about? We'll just go song by song. Like if you just pull out Sammy's song, "I Can't Drive 55," that's all over the place. Name me a
3-lock box.
Maybe
Awesome
name me
songs.
a Dave song that
Yankee
everybody
Rose.
knows.
Yankee Rose.
It's a cover. Here you go again.
Yankee Rose is not a cover.
I'll look that up.
Is
Keep
it not?
talking.
It is a cover.
Keep talking.
Oh,
I
might
think-
be a cover.
I hope-
No,
I'm gonna have to look that up. I hope it's not.
no.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Tobacco Road.
Oh, Tobacco Road is
Tobacco
definitely
Road's
a
cover.
cover.
Yes.
Tobacco Road is
Tobacco
definitely a
Road's
cover.
cover, but not Yankee
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah,
Yankee
I'm in love with
Rose
the
is
Yankee
written
Rose.
by David Lee Roth.
Darn it.
See?
My bad.
Good
Sorry,
try.
aliens.
But anyway.
But I'll put it out here. I'm still gonna go with the Can't Drive 55. Everybody knows that song. Not everybody knows Yankee Rose.
See, that's about drinking and not drinking. It's about driving fast, breaking the law. See, I don't
You
like
can't
that.
get killed driving fast.
I know.
Well, you know what? The speed limit's 65, so.
Not back then.
Not back then.
It was only 55 back then.
You know, the judge told him he couldn't do that.
But I want you to talk to those 80,000 people that try to get Sammy Hagar tickets.
Hey,
Who are going to spend $5,000 to travel to Cabo just to see one night of a show with Sammy Hagar.
but I think that's Sammy ripping off his fans. Like, why should you win a contest and have to pay $5,000 to go see him? Besides that,
You should win a contest and get there.
you should. The contest
He
should be you
actually
win.
does have a contest for
all expenses paid. Why should you win a contest and have it cost
Well,
you
he
money?
can't pay for 2,000 people. Well, he probably could, but
He could believe me.
He could.
Look
He
up what
probably
he
could.
sold his fucking tequila for.
Well-
He could definitely spend the money to send that many fucking people down there. But like,
But-
why
but-
should you have a contest and have it cost
would
you money?
80,000 people want to go see Dave solo
Hey.
without Eddie? I
Hey,
doubt it.
listen. If I knew about that Sammy contest, I would have fucking signed up for myself. Shit.
They were talking about
Because he's a good
David Lee
performer.
Roth
You wanna
getting
go
back
see
with
him.
the Eat 'em Smile lineup. I would have paid movie
Yeah.
money to see it.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen. The original guys in the band without Dave were going to play a show. Dave caught wind of it. Word got out that Dave was going to show up and play. So many people showed up. The fire marshal shut the fucking show down. They couldn't get any more people in the place, and they never got to play, which is a shame because that would have been just so
That would've
fucking
been
awesome.
fucking awesome.
I mean, I literally would have flown to Los Angeles to see that show
Oh,
myself.
hell yeah.
Would Dave want to spend his birthday playing for people? Sammy spends his birthday every single year playing for his fans. Every year.
Hey, they're paying to see him. I'd do it too.
Okay, closing thoughts? Anybody? Everybody got out what they wanted to say?
I think we're good.
Okay, this was a tough one. You're kind of fighting an uphill battle against Sammy Hagar's catalog. There's just so many songs. that
He
people know.
does, and he has more of a catalog solo than Dave does.
That
Like
is
way
true.
more.
You did make a good point about
Because he was a solo artist before.
the $5,000 price on.
Well, I was
Seeing
just
the
throwing
show.
that out there.
Which
Because I would have
if you've been to any place like that, that's probably low
Yeah. So that was
to
a
get
good
there
point.
and spend a
And
week.
it kind of threw me out. Like, why would he sign autographs during the show? That it almost seems distracting.
Why not?
Like
I
that
think
almost
that's
seems like he's
awesome.
It
distracted.
is.
Like, it's like-
I
You
was
do
at
things at once.
I was
You
at that
sign in
show.
and
I'm like,
sing at the
dude,
same
should be
time?
singing,
Yeah,
not signing
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, oh, I'm too important to like. I don't know.
Maybe
His
he signed
fans
in
are
and singing at
important.
the same time.
He was.
This
His
is a
fans
tough
are
one.
important.
This is
to
a
him.
tough one because I don't think it's.
His fans are important. That's why he signs.
I'm gonna call it a tie. I'll call it a tie. You put up such a good fight that I can't.
I
knock
will
it
concede a
because-
tie. I will.
Because Dave's solo stuff is tough to work with.
It is.
I
But
agree
for
with-
sheer volume, Sammy's got way more stuff than Dave because like BC, he was in
That's
Montrose
true.
and he had a ton of solo stuff out.
Solo
Then he joined
stuff.
Van Halen. He
Then
had
he
that
joined
Van
Van
Halen
Halen.
catalog to do. So
Yeah.
he pretty much had
Then he has
Sammy Hagar stuff to do.
And the circle.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, even when he joined Van Halen, he had Montrose behind him. He had a bunch of solo stuff behind him, and then when he was done with Van Halen, he had all the Van Halen stuff too. And Dave was working with an EP and
Yeah.
like
And
an
he
album.
recorded the EP during what, 1984,
During
right?
84, yeah.
So like
Which,
he literally
eh,
at the end of his Van
I
Halen
could live without
career
that.
was doing solo stuff. So I'll give it a tie. You guys both argued. I would personally
And
go
the
with Sammy, but
what was on the EP?
covers.
Oh, thank you.
Covers.
Here we go again.
But
Yeah, I think Dave had
just
aspirations
think-
of being a lounge singer at that time.
I just think I have to give
He
you guys.
had
I have to
5
give you
to
guys
6
something because that was
solo albums
tough.
before Van
That
Halen.
was tough. Okay, so that
More
was.
than Dave had solo.
Could I talk now,
sorry, I'm
BC?
No.
Oh no. I was-
Okay, so that was that topic, and that well fought, both of you. So the final topic for the main part of the debate: who's the better performer? Why is your guy a better performer with Van Halen? And we will start with Van Hagar. But before we do that, I actually have a bit of a wrench in the works here. Because the Dave guys are down by 2, I'm going to make it a little more interesting. If they win this next question, they're going to get 2 points instead of 1, so it'll tie it up.
Just mark it down now.
And
yeah, because that's what they need to beat.
So
Van Hagar.
no pressure, but go ahead, Van Hagar guys. Why is your guy the best performer in the band?
He can sing, number 1.
Okay.
He can play guitar.
Okay.
He can do 2 things at once: sing good and play
He
guitar.
can multitask. That's a good quality.
True.
In a
Never
performer.
thought of that.
Okay, is that the point?
That is tough.
Okay. Roth side, best
right.
performer.
Why? When people hear Van Halen, I think they think more David Lee Roth than Sammy Hagar. What I have to say is that from day one, when Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen tried to be cool. Okay? They tried to be cool. However, from day one when David Lee Roth was in Van Halen were fucking cool. Just listen to the very first song with Sammy Hagar singing Good Enough on 5150. Hello, baby. If that isn't trying to be David Lee Roth, nothing is.
Or the Big Bopper.
Or, whatever. But that is right there, Sammy Hagar and Van Halen at that time trying to say, you know what? We're going to be as good as we were with David Lee Roth. Take your number 1 hits and albums and shove them up your ass, if you will. But Van Halen will never be as cool as they were when David Lee Roth was in the band. Okay. Never.
How's his performance, like within the band?
That's it. David Lee Roth. Gene Simmons is the face of Kiss. I'm sorry, David Lee Roth is the face of Van Halen. Performance-wise, they're not showing videos of Sammy Hagar jumping off the drum riser doing splits. What are they showing Sammy? Just with the mic stand singing or with a guitar playing? You're not seeing that performance from Sammy. And I'm not taking anything away from Sammy. Great singer, a lot of good stuff with Van Halen, with Sammy Hagar. But David Lee Roth is the performer of Van Halen. He's the face of Van Halen. He's the guy that's out there. And people hear Van Halen, I'm sorry, they're thinking more David Lee Roth than they're thinking Sammy Hagar.
Okay. Hagar, people, let's hear a rebuttal.
Performer-wise, I don't think Sammy's not a performer. Like you want the best performer. Sammy's not even a performer. Sammy's a musician. Sammy's a singer. Sammy sings. Sammy plays guitar on several songs, not just 1 or 2. He's the 80s voice of Van Halen. I know Dave is the 70s voice of Van Halen. Sammy's 80. It was a totally different direction he wanted to go. If you're talking performer-wise, Sammy performed with his voice. He didn't need to jump around and do kickstand kicks off the drum riser and dress in funny clothes like I remember one, I think it was maybe Largo, Maryland. He almost looks like Ozzy Osbourne with this feathers on his arms. It is 2 different things. Sammy's not a performer. Sammy's a musician. He performs through his music and his voice and his guitar playing.
Oh, and David's performance led him with a bloody nose.
Sammy's the voice of Van Halen in the 80s. There's 2 Van Halen albums of Sammy in the 80s compared to 4 Van Halen albums in the 80s with Dave.
I was gonna say that, but
wow,
good job.
Okay.
And as far as Dave, hitting his face with his mic stand, there's a guy that he smashed his face, kept going, right? They didn't stop in the middle of the song because he smashed his face. And I have to say that just give us our 2 points now because BB just said Sammy's not a performer.
Well, his performance, like
Is
he
through
said,
his-
is through his music.
is through his
Singing,
music, singing.
guitar playing.
But you might as well sing backstage if you're just going
A
to
performer
perform
to me
with
is
your
somebody
voice.
who is like on Broadway, and Dave is Broadway, and that's all he does
He should
because
just
Right,
put on his
visual.
ballet shoes and dance
You
around
don't
in
want
a
to
little
go and
skirt.
see a show with 4 guys fucking standing there playing their instruments. You want to see movement. You want to see interaction with the crowd. You want to see that, and you guys pretty much conceded that
Sammy
to us.
definitely does that, too.
Like like Dave, he's the guy. He's the entertainer.
Well, I went to see
with the
Sammy
mini
again
concerts,
last month.
And when I'm in the crowd, growing up and everything, and even older, I mean, when you look at a concert and you see the people on the stage, you're like, "Fuck, do I want to be David Lee Roth or do I want to be Sammy Hagar? I want to be David Lee Roth. Fuck, who wouldn't want to be David Lee Roth?
Me. I don't.
You're a girl. Come on."
But I saw Sammy Hagar last month. He was running from this side of the stage to the other side of the stage, back and forth, signing autographs,
No, but it's
singing,
with,
guitar playing.
Yeah, it's
He
with
was
Van
doing
Halen.
everything.
With Van Halen.
With Van Halen.
I'm
Well.
talking. Yeah.
And I will give it up to both Dave and Sammy. These dudes are like, they're up there in age. You know, they're older guys, and I actually think Sammy's probably older than Dave, maybe.
Yeah, Sammy's gonna be 70 in October.
I mean, hey, these guys are putting it out there. You know, they really are. But as far as, you know, if you go see a Van Halen show, David Lee Roth I think he's the guy you want to see. He may not be the guy you want to hear, but he's the guy you want to see.
Okay, so for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna just end the discussion here.
Okay.
You both made good points. I say this every time, but you did. You know, with Sammy's
Because we
musicianship.
believe.
But I think the David Lee Roth guys, the thing was performer, and they definitely said performer. So they tied it up thanks to my machinations.
Because that's the only way you can get them to maybe win. We're giving them 2 points.
Well, we'll leave that for the
No one likes a
listener
sore
to
loser
put
or
together.
winner.
Okay, so now the official main round of the debate is over, so we're going to get into the speed round. Now, in the speed round, things go a little differently, ladies and gentlemen. Here, we're going to have one person from each group duke it out head-to-head in a three-question round. Whoever wins it all. What's going to happen is I'm going to read the question. Some of them will require like a real fast answer, and whoever answers first, of course. And whoever answers first will have to go first, and then the person that answers second will get to go second. What'll happen is you'll have 20 seconds to make your case about the answer. The next person also has 20 seconds to make their case, and then each person gets a 10-second rebuttal. And I will time it, and I will make sure I will keep you to that. So pick your champion. Who's gonna go for the David Lee Roth side? Who are you gonna send out? Trial by combat.
What do you think, BC?
Gee, I wonder who it's going to be.
BC's going to give it up to me, I guess.
Okay, we have Steve Wright for the David Lee Roth side for the speed round. Van Hagar.
I picked Jen.
You can't pick.
You can't choose your.
Oh.
What the hell are you saying?
You can demand a trial by combat, but you can't choose your opponent.
No, BB is going all in.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Okay,
you,
so
buddy.
BB
Bring it on, boy.
versus Steve in the speed round. Okay, the first question in the speed round. What song would your singer, do better of the other singer's song, Van Halen-wise?
Inside.
Ain't Talk About Love.
Okay, we have Inside for David Lee Roth. And Ain't Talking About Love.
Mine's already been documented.
That's not a fair
Hold
question,
on.
though. Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
So what'll happen is, since you said it first, you get to go first. The timer will start as soon as you talk, so gather your thoughts as long as you need to. I will start it only when you begin talking.
All right, I'm talking about the song that I picked, right?
Yeah, why would your singer sing it better than
Okay.
his? Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Inside is the closest Van Hagar song to anything that Dave did, and I think that it was a ball-busting song on Dave, and I think Dave totally would have killed that song. It was the most Van Halen Dave-like song that they did on 5150.
Okay, keeping it under 17 seconds. Okay, so BB, when it'll start when you go. So take your time to think, and whenever you start talking, I'll start the timer.
When you look at Live Without a Net, Ain't Talking About Love, Sammy covers, and he covers it 10 times better than Dave did on the actual studio album. I think that's a better. He's sang it 10 times better than Dave did on the album.
Okay, also coming in at 17 seconds. You got a 10-second rebuttal. Timer starts when you go.
I think it's an unfair question because Sammy did not have a song out that Dave could sing.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Timer starts when you go.
Okay, it's documented And Sammy's a better singer than Dave.
Wow. Okay. Going for the 5 seconds. Okay. Listening to your points, I felt like you were a little befuddled by the the rebuttal time at the end there, and you couldn't really get too many points out. I do think that BB has some pretty good points, that it is documented, and Dave, doesn't really do Sammy songs, but you didn't paint a picture why Dave would bring to the song that Sammy didn't. So I have to go with Van Hagar.
It's an unfair question.
For the first point. So we're at 7-6, Van Hagar. Okay, the second question.
Cheater.
And this one's not like a speed round thing. Whoever wants to go first, just say you go first and So the question, who do you think would be better to have a drink with?
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth. That goes on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you get to go first for David Lee Roth. Hold on, let me get the timer going. The time starts when you begin talking.
David Lee Roth is the party guy. Like BC has said many times, you hear Van Halen, what do you want to do? You want to crack a beer. There's so many stories you can get from Dave. Just not even musically. Just the trips that he went and the adventures he went. Read his book, Meet Him and Smile. He went on safaris and stuff like that. He was in the Amazon.
Okay,
just
stop.
cool shit like that.
Sammy Hagar, better to have a beer with.
Not a beer and tequila, because Sammy makes his own tequila. And Sammy, I'm sure, has the same amount of stories as Dave has. And why would you not want to drink with the guy who makes his own drink?
10-second rebuttal for the David Lee Roth side.
Sammy Hagar does not make his own tequila anymore, and actually that was a company that did it, and his name was on it. So I think my point is valid.
Okay. Rebuttal.
Okay, but he said to have a drink with, so he actually had something to do with the drink, so it's more than Dave ever had to do with any drink, because he used to drink iced tea out of Jack Daniels bottles.
Okay. I feel like that was a good rebuttal, that he doesn't make his own tequila, and you made a lot of good points about why you would be good to have a drink with, and you were just kind of trying to be like, he would also be able to do that, and you weren't coming up with anything original besides the drink one, which was, again, rebutted, so I have to give it to the David Lee Roth side.
Booyah!
So it's tied up 7-7. Going into the final round.
He wants a ride home, BB.
I thought that he had a better debate
I
on
did.
that
See,
one.
I agree.
I thought the iced tea was the icing on the cake.
That's just rumor.
It was, I don't
Do you
know.
know
I
it
thought it
is?
was good.
It was good.
Good.
Continue.
Okay, so the final question. Again, this isn't one that you have to pick. You're going to be defending your guy. Just whoever feels like they're ready to go first, say it first. Who gels better with the band?
Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
Because Sammy Hagar made the music that Eddie Van Halen was not allowed to make.
Wow, that's it, huh? Not going to use your time? Okay. Okay. 20 seconds for
So I'm
David.
not allowed to use the #1 albums in that. But good.
Okay.
I think David Lee Roth gels better with Van Halen because Dave is Van Halen. Dave is the history of Van Halen. He has those hungry days where they were a young band and when they were first Mammoth and it was Dave's idea to call it Van Halen. He has the history with the band. He gels much better with the guys.
Okay. Rebuttal.
I still think the way they went from 1984, the way Eddie wanted to go, I still think he gelled better because it was more of a band, not just one guy calling all the shots.
I believe that Dave gels much better with Van Halen because they went from a rock band to a pop band with Sammy Hagar, and they are a rock band.
Okay, so I was definitely leaning towards David Lee Roth for most of it. The part about how it wasn't just one guy calling the shots, though, was a really good last. I was like praying for you to come up with something because I was like, you should have used the 20 seconds. There were so many things you could have said. This is a really tough one. Would it be okay if I gave it up to the listeners to decide who wins? What do you think of that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
that.
That's great.
So that
Interact with
nobody,
us.
so that nobody kills me.
So you guys,
He gets out of here
You're
alive tonight.
walking, period.
It's up to the listeners now.
so let us know. So we will pose that question. So were we tied up until then?
You guys were tied.
We were tied.
Yeah,
So
because you guys had to get 2 points for
you, the
one
fans out
question.
there, are the tiebreaker, and anyone that is on this panel today, you're allowed to plead your case online.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you guys for putting up with my moderating, or as you would say, monitoring.
Monitor the hall monitor.
Oh, man.
That was one of
Fun
the
facts
toughest
with the hall
things
monitors.
I think I've done in a long time.
It was pretty nail biting here, as
I think
every
you did great.
every decision I made was questioned by somebody, so that was great. Loved that. But
Hey, can't
if you
make
guys like the debate episodes, we have a lot more in store.
So if you have an idea that you would like to debate,
Let us know.
You are up on your topic for debate, let us know. We can possibly have you on the show. Contact us on Facebook, on YouTube, iTunes, and maybe we can get you on the show here. Let us know if it's a topic that you wanted us just to discuss without you on there. That is perfectly fine, and we will paint your name all over the episode. That is not a problem for us to do. Interact with us, you guys. Like I said, the fate of who wins this debate is that's up to you guys. And this part of the podcast was not planned. It was a like right off the cuff thing from Dylan there at the end. Kind of a cop out kind of ending. Let's get a final word from everybody here, and then we will sign off there. BC, what do you got to close with?
David Lee Roth is Van Halen.
Okay. Jen.
David Lee Roth may have started Van Halen, but Van Halen ended when Sammy left the band.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
pretty good.
BC's chuckling.
I thought she was going to say the band ended. I'm like, oh, I don't think you want to argue that.
BB.
I like both. This is extremely tough for me because I'm a big fan of both, and
Are you saying you wanted the best of both worlds?
I got it.
That's another great song.
Well, that's good.
That is a good song.
Yeah, that's definitely good enough.
Okay.
Oh, good enough. Huh?
Yeah, there it is. And he would know that from the inside. I'm going to say I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I want to thank you guys for listening to us. This was a long episode. I'm not sure how much is going to be chopped off after Dylan takes the axe to it after we're all done here. I want to
been
thank
here for 15
Jenn
hours.
Roberts-Veina for being a co-host with us this evening. You will hear from her again. I have another episode in mind for Jen.
Oh, boy.
And she's surprised because she doesn't even know what I'm even thinking about. And you will definitely see BB again. Me and BC, as always, you will have another episode with Dylan coming up, relatively soon. I just want to thank you guys for coming on and listening to us. Like I said, let us know. Hey, the fate of the Great Van Halen debate is in your hands. Let us know what you guys think. Who you like? You like Dave? You like Sammy? Let us know. So we are going to sign off for now, and we will see you next time. And there will be a next time. BC.
Rock out, people.
BB.
Hellions, vote for Hagar.
Jen.
Happy trails.
Until we meet again. Happy trails to you.
Keep smiling on till then.
Yeah.
Everybody stop.
Oh, we suck. All right.
Down
Pass
the
above the
river.
clouds when we're together.
Good night, everybody. And
Just
there
sing
will
a
be next
song
time.
of
See ya.
sunny weather.
Goodbye.
Dun, 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 dun.